and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Drake.
It's Friday, not just any Friday, Drapes. We're getting ready for rivalry weekend in MLB. It's already started.
That's right.
This is something.
Who my Phillies facing? Mets?
No.
Braves? No.
The Battle of Pennsylvania.
Pirates?
Yeah.
That's not a rivalry, though. That's
Some
not a
of these,
rivalry in
they do the
baseball.
best they can with some of these.
Our rival are the Braves, the Mets,
Mhm.
division guys.
Mm-hmm. Not according to
Pirates?
MLB. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So you got Cleveland, Cincinnati, because, Ohio and all that. You got some that are kind of what? Atlanta, Boston, Minnesota, Milwaukee, San Diego,
yeah.
and Seattle. But the A's against the Giants, which used to mean something, and I know people are trying to get us excited about it right now. It's a game, so it's like, I'm interested to know who wins, but rivalry.
Yeah. I see what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're trying to, whoever is your close proximity.
Yeah.
But Braves, Red Sox?
I'm not
How
sure.
is that a rivalry, right?
I've been trying to figure that one out.
So, and I think you said it off air, because they're both, Boston Braves, Boston Red Sox.
I guess.
Know.
Well,
but-
1939, you had some there.
Right,
Not
exactly.
anymore.
Angels, Dodgers,
Mhm.
close right there. A's, Giants, I get it. But some of these, I'm just like,
Yeah.
really?
Someone's a little strange.
Yeah.
Did you see what Shohei and company did to the A's last night?
I didn't watch.
Wow.
I saw the final result, if you will.
Yeah.
And it seemed like they had a grudge to pick with like they wanted to take out some frustrations on the A's. I was, I don't want to say shocked, but it goes to show you they need some pitching desperately.
Mm-hmm.
Our Sacramento or West Sacramento A's.
Yeah.
We need some pitching. I mean, they knocked us around, or they knocked the A's around a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I was playing in Little League, my dad told me once we lost some game like 10-1 or something. My dad said, I was like 9 years old.
Yeah.
He said, when you lose a game by a lot, sometimes it's easier than when you just lose a close one. I remember when he said that, I thought, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. We just got destroyed.
Right, yeah.
But, then you go through those heartbreaking losses.
Yeah.
When you're playing sports or just as a fan. And I realized what my dad was trying to say. So 19 to, what was it? 19 to
2.
Yeah.
They got 2.
Yeah.
Put some respect, Whitey.
Yeah. And they had position players strike out Ohtani. So,
18 hits for the Dodgers. And remember, the A's open up the series with a nice little
I know.
win. So we're
I know.
thinking, and then they've given up, 28 over the last 2 games, I
Mhm.
think it is. So the Dodgers said, all right, enough playing around.
Right, right.
Get
Yeah.
back to your little corner.
and
So-
that's clutch, isn't it? Ohtani with 2 home runs, 6 RBI on his bobblehead night.
Oh, it was his
That's
bobblehead
clutch.
night. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. That's impressive. That
Mhm.
is impressive.
Yeah.
Fans there to see him, his big night, and he delivers.
Mhm.
Okay.
Now we got to know, Drapes, what you think of the story that came out a couple days ago, and I know you shared it with Jay and I.
Yeah.
About the Kings having done an interview with Jeremiah Fears, Oklahoma guard, expected to go very high in the draft. There's also stories I know Sam Amico wrote about it, or no, is it Sam Vicini?
Yeah.
And Howard Beck wrote about how Philly may be looking to move the 3rd pick. So, we're thinking, why would the Kings talk to him? What do you think? Is there anything Kings fans should be even intrigued by in that?
I'm trying to figure out, did they think just in case they move up or something, just
Mhm.
doing their due diligence, something like that?
That makes sense, but it's no fun.
It's no fun. Like, what's the point of that, right? Like, and why would you, meet with the guy and work him out or whatever it is they did? If I'm him, I'm like, bro, y'all ain't going to get this pick,
Right.
So, or does it signal that Scott Perry's about to be aggressive, that he's about to make some moves and move up? I can't allow myself, Whitey. I'm still upset about the draft lottery. And so I'm not going to allow myself to think that the Kings somehow can finagle their way into the lottery
Mm-hmm.
to get Fears. I don't even know if we have the assets to move up. If we're talking Philly, I'm saying the number 3 pick.
Might.
Really?
I mean, if they're looking for someone to help them now and maybe we'll take some picks down the road. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. This is another interesting element of all that. This is, you probably saw this. This is also from Sam Vicente today. He says, as the draft is presently constructed, he says guys like Jeremiah Fears, Nolan Traore, Jace Richardson, and others might want to hope they hear their names called in the top 8 because they're point guards. Otherwise, their agents might have to make a lot of phone calls to see if a team can move up to get their guy. In other words, he's saying because of their point guards, and you look at the needs of the teams that are drafting there, that
check your phone.
Jeremiah Fears and others may drop.
What you got there?
I don't have anything.
Oh, all right. Rancy, like, I'm thinking it's breaking news or something like that. Let me look at.
Oh, good news, Drapes.
Uh-oh.
The 49ers and Brock Purdy agreed to terms on a 5-year,
When it breaks,
$265
We have it first.
it's Sacktown Sports breaking news.
million contract extension. Purdy gets $18 million in total guarantees, including
181 in total guarantees. Do you see 18 or I see 181?
Okay.
All right, in total guarantees. Right?
Yeah. 181 million. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Total guarantees, including 165.5 in the first 3 new years of a deal that runs through 2030. It's a done deal, Brock Purdy.
So how much is this? 5,265. Let me pull out my calculator here. See what the average annual value could be potentially. Divided by 5, carried away. 53 million.
A deal that everybody can be happy with, even Kyle Draper.
I was thinking I may need to excuse myself from this conversation. We need to bring in Jay Johnson, perhaps, because anything I say about Brock Purdy is going to be viewed in a negative light. 53 million. To me, if I'm the Niners, I'm going 50 million. If I'm Brock Purdy, I want 55. So it looks like they settled sort of in the middle at 53.
Yeah.
But Jay, what you coming in? This ain't a 3-person show, big fella. This ain't, get out of here. Get out of here. Are we really celebrating the re-signing of Brock Purdy?
Yes, sir.
Is that was
Why are you not?
why I am celebrating because now the Eagles will knock them out again if they meet in the playoffs. This ain't Joe Montana, Jay. This ain't Steve Young. This ain't Colin Kaepernick.
This is guys
This is
taking
Brock
the team to the
Purdy.
Super Bowl.
Come on, man. Come on.
Congratulations, Jay.
Yeah, I was just waiting. I wasn't even going to
Turn him up, Ramsey. Turn him up.
I wasn't even going to turn my my mic on just yet, Whitey, because I want to let him bloviate on what this is.
No, I want to hear from you guys because I know you guys do a lot of things just for show. You know, this is entertainment. You want the people at home and at work to be entertained. It's a good contract. What
It
do you
is.
freaking do?
It's a great contract
Yeah.
for both sides.
Did they have Brock Purdy on the roster this past season? I forget.
Yes,
Okay, what did they finish, Jay?
6.
Oh, okay,
and
exactly,
11.
exactly. This ain't Josh Allen you re-signing. This ain't Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers or my boy Jalen Hurts. This is a good quarterback, mid-tier quarterback. This is Trevor Lawrence getting $53 million.
Even the man who just said that has called Brock Purdy a top 10 quarterback.
Correct.
Even
That
you
was
have called
before
him a
the
top 10
season.
quarterback.
And your boy,
He went down though.
am I not forgetting the quarterback who was part of the Super Bowl winning team? How much does he make, Whitey?
It don't matter what he made. What does my guy make?
51 million.
51 million. So Brock Purdy's getting more than my guy.
Yep.
As he should.
He's better.
As he should.
He's better.
You guys see,
He's a
this is
better
what I'm
quarterback.
talking about.
Is your guy a top 10 quarterback?
Easily.
Okay.
You're a Super Bowl champion. Once you win that Super Bowl championship,
You move up?
Hell yes.
So Brad Johnson moved up.
That year he did.
Trent Dilfer moved up.
I tell you what, you know who moved down?
Who?
Your boy after 6 and 11. Come on, I'm not saying it's a bad contract.
It's a great
I'm saying
contract.
it's okay.
It's
solid.
great for the 49ers because they were able to get him at 53. Maybe last year, if they win 12 games and they're bounced, maybe he is in line for a little more. Everybody wins here, but especially 49er fans.
How about this? To me,
100%.
fellas, it's about the timing.
The timing
this-
is great.
Exactly. This isn't something that hangs over, at the start of, OTAs or camp or anything like that.
They learned their lesson.
They got this done in an appropriate amount of time. That's why it's good, I think, for the Niners.
Okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly, what are you arguing, Drapes? Just so I'm 100% on up and
I'm
up.
not even
Should he
arguing.
have not got 53?
No, it's okay.
Okay. Is it a great landing spot for the team, for the 49ers?
It's okay. It's
So
okay.
where'd you want him
I
to
said
be?
the team
48?
50. He wanted 55 or plus. You
Okay.
settle in the middle. It's
53.
a solid deal. It's a good deal.
And it's not a long deal. It's really only guaranteed for 3 years.
My whole thing
Show it
isn't
approving.
about Brock Purdy. It's not about the Niners. It's about this guy right here to my left, Whitey, ready to, hoist the Lombardi trophy just because their 6-11 quarterback got a new deal. Look at that big
The replica. That's the replica. Yes, sir.
I got the list, fellas, right here of quarterback contracts. Dak Prescott. Is he better than Dak? Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Cowboys messed that up.
Yeah,
They over.
But they had to reset the market because it's about who's up next, correct?
Yeah, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's at 55.
I don't think
Give me Joey B.
I don't think he's as good as Joe Burrow.
Josh Allen.
No.
55. Give me
Right.
Josh Allen. Okay, he's not paying. Jordan Love. Now, this is an
I would
interesting.
take him
He's
over
better
Joe
than
Burrow.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
better
Okay,
than
we could
Jordan.
argue
Yeah.
that. We could. Trevor Lawrence, just because Jacksonville did what they did, they botched that one. They overpaid. The quarterback market.
He's better than
sucks.
Tua. He's better than
guys are
Tua.
overpaid. That's what I'm like Tua at 53.
He's better.
Jared
Brock's moving
Goff
up
at
your list,
53.
isn't he?
Yeah, come
Brock
on,
is
man.
moving up the Draper
You want to
list.
reset the top 10 again?
Oh my God. I'm just looking at these contracts, the average annual value. Like, I mean, Goff is at 53.
Yeah.
My boy's
Tua's
at
in there
51.
too, right?
Yeah, Tua, Jay mentioned a 53.1.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Mhm.
Unbelievable. And so it's a solid deal. But that don't move the needle for me. That don't mean y'all gonna go from 6-11 to 17-0 and win the Super Bowl.
You got Brock Purdy signed.
We
Good
knew
deal.
that was going to happen,
And
though,
he's
right?
happy,
We didn't.
and
We
you're happy.
didn't.
Jay.
We didn't.
Come on, Jay.
You're just talking about that the timing and they got it done. This has been a team that has not gotten it done.
They learned their
Drapes.
lesson.
But you guys knew Brock wasn't going to just pull a Trent
You don't
Williams
know.
or anybody like that.
You don't know.
Brock is like, let's get this done.
And they got it done. Even if there was a question as to whether, like you say, okay, you knew he was going to get it done. They got it done now at a good time. Plus, easiest schedule in the NFL.
Now that's
a great combination. This has been a good week for the 49ers.
it really it has been. It's been a fantastic offseason. The league giving them that stimulus package.
We'll
They
take
falling
it.
on hard times.
We'll
Here's
take
the
it.
easiest schedule. Guys, and I wasn't here. I left early when the schedule release came out. Did you see that home slate of games? Horrible. Is there any must-see games on that?
Like the
Seattle
Rams games or the
Rams,
Rams
Rams
games.
Thursday night.
division stuff. But outside of the division,
Right. Yeah.
brutal. It's
You
awful.
ain't feeling Carolina on a Monday night, baby?
Monday Night
How
Football.
was that Monday
What
night?
about Cam Ward, man, the number one pick?
Man, it's
Anthony Richardson.
you know who I feel bad for? I feel bad for Niner fans.
For what?
Because the organization ain't giving them no 50% discount for that trash home schedule that they got to pay for. Season ticket holders and fans.
So it's
gotta
not the
pay $100
49ers, it's the NFL you have a beef with.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so they call the NFL out, not my boy York and the new minority owners, the 6% owners.
That's when that
Big
schedule
right,
came
right.
out. I
Come
looked
on.
at that like, oh my, there's not a must-see game
See, I
there.
think you have some problems because your Eagles,
We got a hard schedule.
y'all might
Yeah.
y'all might go below 500 this year.
I don't
8-9.
understand.
That's what I was thinking.
You might
That's
go
exactly what I was
8-9.
thinking.
And I'm okay with that, big fella. I got my Super Bowl. We on top right now.
Can't argue that.
You know, we the Rams.
I
you
can't
know,
argue
you win,
that.
have a down year, and then we right back
I
there.
can't argue
you know,
that.
so
I could agree
no,
with
but
that.
this, in all honesty, this is a good deal for the Niners. Good deal, very respectable for Brock Purdy too.
Yes.
Like this ain't something where oh man, they shortchanged me or anything like that. They showed Brock respect at the 53 million number, I think.
Mm-hmm. Brock Purdy has played in 6 postseason games, far more than Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, Tua, and Kyler Murray, who are making about the same amount of money.
Here you go,
Far more
916.
Postseason.
Oh, I love the excitement of the Weiner Hopium dealers there.
Man, that's
I
a
think
Raider
he's talking
fan.
about you
That's
guys.
a Raider
That's- I
fan.
think he's-
But that's on the 916.
Rancho Mike.
Ramsey, delete that.
That's Rancho
Not,
Mike.
not gonna happen because I'm a Raiders fan.
Come on.
No, this is good though. This is good. I'm hating and everything like that, but it's a solid deal. I think for both sides, it's one where the Niners don't feel like they overpaid. 53 is not an overpay. Like, it's now if it was 55, 58, 60, if he was asking, I'm like, but 53, when you see some of what these quarterbacks are making out there right now, Brock is like the 11th best quarterback in the league. And that sort of slots in where he should be.
And Jay made a great point. We tend, I think, to focus too much on the annual average value. It's fun and it's useful, but it's more about, and I don't have all the details here yet. We have a lot of them, but what's the, guarantees, like you said? What's the guarantees?
Yeah.
3
years.
The team looks more at stuff like that.
Correct. 165.
Yeah.
Whitey, let me ask you as a fellow 49er.
Yes, sir.
Hall of Fame
Congratulations,
fan.
by the
Absolutely.
way.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
We won't dap up this guy over to the left. Are you surprised that the 49ers didn't extend the years guaranteed for Brock? I guess what I'm asking is this. Does it show that they believe in Brock enough to you? Or is it, we like you, but I need you to prove it to me?
I think it just speaks to how they're trying to be so prudent financially right now, and I think maybe there are still some deep-seated, quiet, lingering, we'll see about this guy with his history of injuries, but you're able to hide behind the fact that you're being fiscally prudent now. So yeah, there probably are some doubts, but just to give him the deal, clearly Shanahan believes him, at least for now. This is a huge year for him and for all of them. To Drape's point, if this is another year that doesn't go well, that changes the whole equation. But right now they got things on track.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at some of the reaction out there on social media. Our boy Tony Jones, friend of show, we know he's an NBA guy, but he tweeted, they gave Brock Purdy how much? Question mark.
Oh, man, it's a guy that's out there talking about Laurie marketing on a daily basis.
Yeah. Good point, Jay.
Got love for Tony. Got love for Tony.
I'm just going through the reactions here. Jamel Hill, Niners fan. She's a big-time Niners fan.
What? She's from Detroit. She's a Lion.
She's a Niners fan. Big time.
What?
Yes.
No.
She said, I'm not mad at it. More than Herbert, more than Goff. This is about right, she said.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on it. It's just don't act like it's all Lombardi or bust now. Oh, we got our guy Brock Purdy locked up. This ain't Joe Montana.
But
Jay.
it is Lombardi or bust.
But a team, not that has nothing to do with this signing.
He's got
it's like now that we got Brock signed, we're going to win it all. Man,
he's got a ton of postseason experience.
I tell you what,
and he's played well in the postseason.
I tell you what, and we're going to talk about this all afternoon. Does the pressure on Brock rise up now?
Absolutely, it does.
Does he have to deliver a strong regular season and postseason?
Yes,
you start making that.
There's pressure on the whole operation this year. The whole operation. I don't know if you're aware of it, Drapes, but they were only 6-11 last year.
Right, I know. I got it up on my refrigerator right there. It's got it taped on the refrigerator
next to the report cards.
Right, exactly.
So Father Day's cards.
Yeah, they're confident, but they all have a lot to prove this year.
Yeah, 100%. And this is the other thing too, fellas. When I look at the number and I look at the guaranteed money, which is coming in, it sounds like it's 181, not the 165. I see Schefter reporting 181. I see Tom Pelissero, Ian Rappaport. Guys are starting to report 181 guaranteed instead of the 165.
The first 3 years?
So it looks like the 181 is with the, of course, the bonuses and the perks.
Right,
and
if he hits all that, yeah.
And I think Rossini just gave the base salary, right? So if he hits the perks, he gets 181 in guarantees. With a signing bonus, of course, I would imagine with that. But to me, it shows that they believe in Brock enough because the 49ers are not looking for nothing else but a Lombardi. We can all agree on that, right? And so they believe they have a Super Bowl team, even though it's revamped and it's a little younger. You bring it back Salah. I think they believe Brock Purdy could take them to the promised land. Now you pretty much have 3 years to show and prove that you can do that.
Right. I just think it's a great deal for them because you remember it wasn't that long ago. Every time a quarterback signed a new deal, if he was any good, he set a new record. Who's the highest paid quarterback? Well, who's the last guy that signed? So, and then now it's normalizing a little bit because Dak's number was so high. But to get a guy who's had this much success, and even if it is just the system, he's a great fit for your system. To get him for what they got him for, when you've already been, moving around your finances and redoing your salary structure. I think it's a great deal for the 49ers. Puts them in a good spot.
Yeah.
We'll see whether they capitalize.
Well,
on
I mean, it's a very sensible deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a
very
sense.
good word.
Yeah,
Very
it's
good
a
word.
very sensible deal. Even though Tony Jones said they gave him, 53 in today's NFL quarterback market isn't breaking the bank.
Where's that
or
put him
anything
at?
like that.
One more time, Trace.
I got it right
7?
here. You got Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow, Jordan Love. So that's 4.
Okay.
Trevor Lawrence 5.
He's at 55, right?
Tua
55,
6.
yeah.
And then he's tied with Jared Goff, $53 million for 7.
7.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm my quarterback, Jalen Hurts, I'm walking into Howie Roseman's office like, give me 53.1.
I know there's a lot of Purdy doubters, but Jay, you could make the case that he deserves more than he got.
Oh, I agree.
You really could.
He's played way.
Can you really?
Yes.
Hey,
you
come
really-
on,
Some of the
man.
guys you just named,
Dude,
and what
he was
they've done.
He
I
was
just listed
borderline.
5
Jordan
guys
Love?
that's better than him.
Jordan Love
But
deserves
then
more money
when
than Brock Purdy.
Yeah, Jordan Love has done more with less.
He hasn't done
Nah,
as much.
yeah,
Come on
yeah,
now.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
As soon as CMC gets hurt, Purdy turns into Kirk Cousins, your
Okay,
boy, or
but-
something like that.
But just not CMC. How about the rest of the roster who got hurt too?
No,
Though,
offensive
Drapes. Come
line.
on now. It's like
I'm gonna
7,
pull up
8,
the
9,
numbers,
10
fellas.
other people who
I
got hurt.
said this all last season. I'm gonna say it again. Look at Brock Purdy's numbers pre-CMC and when CMC's healthy. I would like to look at his numbers side by side when CMC plays versus when he doesn't.
Can we put Kittle on there as well? Can we put Debo being hurt on there? Can we put the Brandon Ayuk numbers on top of that? Can we start to put? How about
Was he
third
even
and
there
fourth,
pre-CMC?
third and fourth string running back numbers?
He played like 4 or 5 games before CMC, I think it was. But here's the thing: I might be thinking Jim. But here's the thing about Brock Purdy: when you sign $53 million, you are viewed as the franchise quarterback.
He already was.
He is, right.
But that means there's no excuses now. There can't be There's no excuses on Josh Allen coming up short every year, even though he didn't have a wide receiver for the most of this past season. Didn't have a top tier wide receiver. There's no excuse. Joe Burrow coming back from injury and everything. We say, he hasn't won the big game. Brock Purdy got to get it done now, fellas.
When has he needed excuses? His first year, he takes him to the NFC Championship game. His second year, he puts him in position to win the Super Bowl. Last year, he didn't have as good a year, but nobody did.
Hold on.
When has
See,
he needed excuses?
Don't downplay how bad he was last year, Whitey.
He wasn't
How
that
bad
bad,
he
though.
was?
Dude, he
He
did
wasn't
not
as
elevate
good.
his game. He didn't elevate his game. He was average.
But Drapes, the same people who are on that list, Jalen Hurts was average before last year.
No, 2 years ago, Jalen Hurts.
3 years ago. 3 years
He was
ago.
in an MVP
And then the
conversation.
one after, it was like, he's average.
He fell back.
He fell off a
And
little
then
bit, right?
he came back this last
So
year.
give my guy some grace
That's
period.
what I'm saying.
Can I give my guy some grace
but
period,
he
man?
got to show it now, Jay.
I agree.
He got to
He
show
is
it.
held accountable
Right,
now. I agree.
right.
But
Going forward,
there's a
I'm
lot
saying.
of guys. Dak Prescott ain't won nothing.
He did not have a bad year last year.
No, he did
Nah,
well.
don't
He
pull up
just did.
stats. Don't pull up those stats, Whitey.
He
I'm
didn't.
talking about the eye test. To me, a quarterback is judged on wins and losses, Whitey. How'd he do in that category?
Come on, man.
He was 6-9.
There you go.
He
There
did
you
not
go.
have a bad year.
He was Trevor Lawrence just wearing red.
No, he was. The numbers do
Trevor
matter.
Lawrence
I'm
was
sorry.
red, man. Come
I'm
on.
sorry. He was down. That speaks to how good he was. He had a down year last year. And you look at that, it's like, that was pretty good.
Jared
20
Goff
touchdowns.
won anything, Whitey?
Jared Goff? He hadn't won a Super Bowl yet.
Jordan Love won anything
Jordan
yet?
Love, let me think. I don't think he's won a Super Bowl
The
yet.
great almighty Josh Allen won anything
come
yet?
on, come
Not
on
yet.
now.
Oh,
okay.
I'm just throwing out some of the guys you
Brad
believe.
Johnson, though.
Ah, yeah, he
Brad
got
Johnson.
one. He
I'm
has
not
one.
saying it's a bad contract. I'm saying now, Brock, no more excuses.
Two-time MVP Lamar. He won anything?
It don't- but
It do matter
no, because here's the thing.
because they're getting chastised every year
Because
for not
those
winning.
guys, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, when they win, it's because of them. When the Niners win, it ain't Brock. Oh man, Brock, you were fantastic. You don't carry us. Brock ain't carrying you to the wins like Lamar
Took him to the
Jackson
Super
is
Bowl.
and Josh Allen. Oh, he
Took
had
him
the
to the
best
NFC
roster in the
Championship.
league, Jay. Come on, man. And nobody's saying it's a bad contract. I'm just arguing right now. All right, Brock, you got your money. Now you got to be Lamar Jackson. You got to be Pat
He's
Mahomes.
just got to be
You
Brock
got to
Purdy.
be Josh
Right,
Allen.
right.
He's
You got to be
Brock Purdy.
Can he be? Does he have to be a top 5 quarterback in the league now when you make that much money or no?
Was he a top 5 quarterback when they had the lead in the Super Bowl
Yes.
in overtime?
Yeah. That season, he played like a top 5
Then
quarterback.
he's got to be the best Brock
He
Purdy
can't
can
beat what we saw this last year. He got to
Okay.
be better than
None
that.
of them can be. He can do it. He's done it.
You guys defend this guy to the earth. My gosh.
Put me in the soil then.
More on today's breaking news. Brock Purdy has signed his deal. Also, move over MJ flu game for the Jamal Murray illness game. I know Dre wants to talk about that too on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. What's going on, Chad, for Chrysler's Employee Pricing Plus event?
If you've been struggling to find the right Ram heavy duty that fits within your budget, the search is over with Hoblet's Employee Pricing Plus event, where we give you the employee price and then take even more off. Right now, save up to 10% off MSRP on brand new 2025 Ram Heavy Duty 2500s and 3500s. Don't miss your chance to save big like the Employee of the Month at Hoblet Dodge.
And you're always one of the top Ram truck dealers in the entire nation.
It's true, and I think it boils down to our huge selection of hard-to-find Ram Heavy Duties with over 300 available and our award-winning customer service.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com.
10% total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 3500 Laramie after $1,500 factory rebates and $9,075 dealer discount, including employee pricing for all. Rebates include $500 on the job upfit, must show eligible upfit, and Hoblet discount between $7,100 and $9,075, depending on trim level for a total of 10% off MSRP. Aid of this net savings, sample VIN 02043. See dealer for details.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center for your Friday that focuses on mainly sunny skies. Slight winds, temperatures quite warm this afternoon. We'll peak in the upper 80s before dropping back into the low 50s overnight tonight. You can get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Roseville Auto Mall is Northern California's ultimate destination when looking for your next vehicle. Find the largest selection with 20 top brands. Take advantage of huge savings during our Memorial Day sales event going on now at the Roseville Auto Mall. Driven to be the best.
It's what you wait for all week. The three-pointers, the rebounds, the thrill of every shot. Win or lose, it's the hope that keeps you coming back. The dream that this time, it might be your year. And so you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when the pressure's on, your support is everything. That's why the NBA store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. Try the TrackMan experience, the very best technology to fit your metalwoods and irons. The new cutting-edge putter fitting studio with its $30,000 worth of technology is ready for your fitting. Hagen Oaks will help you find the best putter for your game. Hagen Oaks offers more technology, more choices, and more service. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531, 808-2531 for more.
You drove the miles and your tires are done. Got to shop the best prices under the sun at Big O. Big O Tires.
Shop top brand tires with the lowest tire price guarantee and visit your locally owned Big O Tires. Now through May 26th, get $80 to $120 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Cooper, Nexen, Nitto, or Sumitomo brand tires with installation purchase. Installation required. Disposal fees and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for pricing. Eligibility may vary. Not valid with other offers.
Trey Songz, live. All the hits, all in one night. Trey Songz. Friday, June 20th, the venue at Thunder Valley. With special guest, Jeremiah. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com and see the show. Trey Songz, Friday, June 20th, the venue at Thunder Valley.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia. Puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. Your lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh. Did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine. Earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
How about that? Brock Purdy has signed his deal. I saw somewhere it was referred to as a blockbuster deal. Brock Purdy with his blockbuster deal. $265 million over 5 years. It's essentially, I mean, it breaks down basically being a 3-year
At
deal.
Power Business Tech.
Exactly. Yeah. At Power Business Technology, they'll tell you it's a $165 million over the first 3 for Brock Purdy, 181 total guarantee. But let's do this. You know, there are a few people that agree with you, Drapes. There's a lot of people that don't agree with you. Why don't we just go and let AI settle this? How good is Brock Purdy? So I just went here, Microsoft Bling. This is an AI search for first started playing for them, when he started, he was the Mr. Irrelevant. He's growing into that role. He's certainly one of the team leaders now. He couldn't have been when he started, and I don't see how that's been an issue for him. If you're going to tell me that that's one of the reasons they only went 6-11 last year, because he was more of a leader, that doesn't ring true to me. I don't think that's an issue.
But Bo Nix just led his team to the playoffs, and that's not a great roster or anything like that. My thing is, and like somebody said on the text or YouTube, and ChatGPT, you got to win in spite of the injuries. Like, that's no excuse. That's no excuse. You're Brock Purdy.
No one's saying it's an excuse.
6-11, Whitey. It ain't like they went 12-5 or 10-7. 6-11.
When you look at the injuries they had last year, and then to say what you're saying is it's Brock Purdy's fault, that doesn't make
Nobody
a lot of
said
sense.
that. Nobody
You just said
I
it.
did not say that. I said in those instances, in that scenario, Brock should be able to lift the team. I'm not saying they were 6-11 because of Brock, but when you hell, even my boy Jalen Hurts 2 years ago, when the team tanked, had more wins. When the team was dysfunctional behind the season, still found a way to win 11 games during the regular
He
season.
had more wins, and then they didn't win anything. They had a losing streak. So you're saying it, but then you're saying I'm not saying it. You're saying, if they only win 6-11, he's got to be better than that. That's saying it's his fault. Then you're saying I'm not saying it's his fault.
I'm saying
They had
when
massive
you
injuries last year.
are
everywhere,
a Super Bowl level quarterback, like we think you think Brock Purdy is.
You don't think so? He's been in the Super Bowl.
I'm just making my argument. My argument. When you think he's a Super Bowl caliber quarterback, like you do, like Jay does, like all these Niner fans,
like he's proven that he is.
The thing about it is, hell, Lamar Jackson had injuries. The team ain't had no wide receivers. Pat Mahomes ain't had no wide receivers other than ain't got no running game. Josh Allen ain't have a wide receiver for the first 11, 12 games of the season.
That's just football.
I'm saying if you're going to be the guy, excuses be damned. You got to deliver.
I agree.
You got to deliver.
I agree.
And going forward, Brock Purdy has to be elite, in my opinion.
Well, that's why
this
they're paying him.
contract means he cannot be average, Whitey.
Right. I don't think he's ever been average. Game here, game there. But I agree. Clearly, that's why they're paying him the money, to be an elite quarterback who will help his team win the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's part of the deal.
Yeah, and he got to show it going forward.
Yeah.
Like it's because here's the thing. When he's the last pick, when he's only making $1 million, it's a cute little story. It's like Rudy, an overachiever.
Are you saying he can't handle making that much money? Or
No, I'm saying now it's just like that in basketball. We talk about Zach LaVine. If Zach LaVine was making $15 million, nobody would be talking about him. Nobody would be expect. When you make $53 million, I expect you to be in the MVP conversation, Brock Purdy. That's what I'm expecting going for.
He wasn't last year.
Exactly.
But
he wasn't
been.
last year.
Yeah.
Exactly. What have you done for me lately? That's what we're talking about going forward. If you want to look 3 years ago, 2 years ago, good for you. I'm saying with this contract comes the weight of expectations. Now you got to be one of those dudes in the league.
I think that's
Excuses be damned.
indisputable. I think you're right. I agree with that.
Okay.
There's no
All right,
question.
there we go.
Yeah.
We found some common ground.
That's why they're paying him the money. They're not paying him the money to go out there and, complete 48% of his passes. You're right. Yeah. They think they have their guy. Another thing with him that makes it difficult anytime anybody has the conversations about the best quarterback, a lot of it is his fit for what they run offensively, which is true of any quarterback. To me, anytime we take quarterbacks and go, this guy's better than that guy and that guy's better than that guy. Sometimes it's true because guys have stronger arms, but you can't remove a quarterback from his system when you're evaluating how effective he is, because that's why teams have their quarterbacks, their particular quarterbacks. They fit what they do. And I don't think he gets enough credit sometimes because people look at that and say, anybody could do that. And I think 49er fans know that's not true because it's been a long time since they've had somebody like him. But we'll see.
Now, people think I'm being a hater. And so phone lines are open, 916-339-1140, whether you're a Niners fan, Raiders fan, Cowboys fan, Eagles fan like me. What do you think about this, Brock Purdy? Oh, yeah. Card carrying member.
Even know.
Card carrying member. That's right. Fly Eagles fly. But I want to hear what the people think. I could rant for another 3 hours and 13 minutes or 15 minutes on Brock Purdy. It's not about what I think. I'm gone out there and said, I'm an Eagles fan. I'm biased 100%. I want to know what Niners fans really think about this.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140 to Drive Guys on a Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy. As a native Sacramentan, I can tell you, not that you need to know, that it might be nice right now, but turn the corner and oh my God, it's so hot. Yeah, summer is coming. And my friends at American Energy want to make sure you are dialed with your AC unit. So how about this half off tune-up right now? It's a special going on, just $24.50 to get your air conditioner tuned up. A free diagnostic. And oh, by the way, if you need a new AC unit, up to $3,500 in rebates on qualifying system installations. That's right. They've been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Here's the song.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Welcome to the Tap House Restaurant at Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course. With an array of local craft brews from a selection of 20 taps, the Tap House menu boasts freshly made sandwiches, crisp salads, and a variety of specialty entrees. The Tap House Restaurant at Bartley Kavanaugh is the perfect spot to share good food, whether you play golf or not, especially during happy hour from 3 to 6 daily. Drop by the Tap House Restaurant for scenic views, exquisite food, and a hearty welcome. The Tap House Restaurant at Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course.
Get ready for a summer of music, comedy, and thrills with the Sacktown Sports Live events calendar. Kick it off with Punk Legends, The Damned at Ace of Spades, May 31st. Then laugh it up with comedian Kathleen Madigan at Hard Rock Live Sacramento, June 7th. Country fans, mark your calendars. Whitey Morgan and the 78s roll into town June 19th, followed by Jam Packed June 21st. Tainted Love is at Ace of Spades. Lee Bryce and Walker Hayes are at Ironstone Amphitheater, and Penn and Teller are at Under Valley. Then it's 3 days of music and wine at the Country Summer Music Festival, June 27th through the 29th at the Sonoma County Fairgrounds. Don't miss the tradition and thrills of the Folsom Pro Rodeo, July 3rd through 5th, followed by country superstar Cody Johnson at Golden One Center, July 18th. August brings legends. Catch Rick Springfield August 1st and Parker McCollum at the Ironstone Amphitheater June 16th. Grab your tickets now and don't miss a beat, only with Sacktown Sports.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sacktown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SacktownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
What's going on? I'm talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Chad, tell me what's happening for Chrysler's Employee Pricing Plus event.
You get the perk of being an employee without all the work, plus a little extra Hoblet discount on top of what everyone else has when you save up to $20,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Jeep Wagoneer S.
Now, I remember you saying how much your wife likes the Wagoneers.
It's true, and they are really nice. I'm super excited to be able to help you save so much so you can have one of your own. Plus, you get to experience our award-winning customer service. And remember to check out the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter with nearly 200 vehicles available and over 50 under $20,000. Whatever you're looking for, Hoblet has it.
Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
20,000 total net savings after 9,000 factory rebates and 11,000 dealer discounts, including employee pricing for all. Rebates may include 7,500 CDJ federal tax credit offered by third party and subject to change without notice. Consult a tax professional. 3% net savings. Sample VIN 6394. See dealer for details.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Oh, what a special Friday with the Drive Guys. Drapes, Jay, and I just basking in the glow of Brock Purdy's new deal, huh, Drapes? $53 million a year for Brock Purdy. 5-year deal.
Niner fans celebrating already.
Yeah. Why not? It's, one thing. You can't blame Niner fans for celebrating when they remember last year how dreadful it was with the holdouts. Last couple of years, and you got all the holdouts, and when's Ayuk going to sign? They're going to trade Ayuk, and it was awful. Hopefully somebody learned their lesson.
Right. It's perfect timing. You don't want this to drag on. It's a great deal, man. I'm not arguing that.
Amadrock in the chat says, Brock held it down. 49ers defense could not prevent the other teams from scoring. That's not on Brock, is it? Isn't that why the 49ers have a new defensive coordinator? Yeah.
Okay.
That's going to be the key to the season for all the focus on Brock. Yeah. How many starters, Jay, are they going to need from the players they just drafted?
Yeah.
2, maybe 3 starters? I mean, and it could work out.
On the defensive side there? Yeah.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Oh, you asked to talk to a 49er fan, Drapes.
Yep.
JR joining us on Sacktown Sports. What's up, JR?
Pretty good day.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good day.
Yeah. How you feeling?
Why are you hating on me there, Kyle? You just compared Purdy friggin' what's his name from Notre Dame? Jeez, I'm drawing a blank. Rudy. You just compared him to Rudy.
I did do that, didn't I? My bad.
Rudy Rudiger. Yeah.
I did do that. I'm sorry. JR, nobody's hating on this deal, man. Let me ask you this.
I know.
And I know you're excited, Niners fan and everything like that.
Yes.
Are you okay with the number, 53? Is that a good, solid number?
You knew it was going to be about 50-55 based on the market, but I don't know. Maybe you could have saved a little bit more and then be able to wash it around with the other guys, but you needed to lock him in. He was free for 3 years. Hell, he was free for 3 years. He was basically making Whitey Gleason money the last 3 years.
That's right.
Yeah,
okay?
Right. $1 million a year.
So, right?
Must be nice.
He's no Steve DeBerg. But he's getting there. Okay? And listen, he's just like your guy. And I'm not always a huge fan of Jay, but Jalen pulled it off last year. 2 years ago, it was like Brock last year. Of course, they played each other. And then the cheap shot by the Eagles pulled Brock's arm off his shoulder.
That was a dirty
But other
play.
than that, pretty compared. Hey, I'll see you in the NFC Championship game there, Kay.
Okay.
All
I
right?
like that. I like that. Let's go.
We'll see you there. We'll see. And it needs to be in San Francisco. We won't win it. But that's beside the point at this point.
Thanks.
You had to pay him.
Yeah.
You had to, and I'm glad they got it done before the season started, like Whitey's saying. And I love it. My text line is blowing up. It is so busy today. I got the whole day now.
Text line's blowing up. Oh, I got so many texts. I got to put my phone away. Where's your Brock Purdy jersey? Can we send somebody to go bring it in?
I have honestly, I don't know where it is. It's in the garage somewhere. I'm looking at some numbers last year.
Now, wait, before you do that, are you saying that maybe he's not that good, or you're not? Because you say these numbers, and then
I'm saying he's a good quarterback.
Okay, all right.
The way Jay running around here high fiving people like they just signed
Jay
Tom
hasn't
Brady.
done that in 5 minutes.
So I'm looking at quarterback rating last season.
Okay,
is that a good measure?
Before you do, I should warn you. Just a short time ago, I looked at some numbers, and somebody told me, I don't care about the numbers, Whitey. Oh. This isn't about the numbers. This is about the eye test. So just keep that in mind.
Okay. I just got some stats.
Yeah.
According to quarterback rating, and I haven't even really looked at these numbers
is this
closely.
QBR? Seriously, QBR or
this
passer
is
rating?
Passer rating.
Passer rating. Okay.
Which one do you like best? I'm
passer
old
rating.
school. I'm passer rating.
Yeah.
I'm a passer rating guy.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, Jared Goff, Joe Burrow, Baker Mayfield, Whitey. 4th highest passer rating in the league among starters. Baker Mayfield. Number 5, Jalen Hurts, Sam Darnold, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Tua Tagovailoa. I'm going to throw in Derek Carr, even though he played 10 games.
Give me some numbers. What are you talking about for numbers?
101. Derek Carr is at 101.
That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, that's hold up, big fella. I know you got your numbers you're going to get to.
Those are good numbers.
Jaden Daniels, 100.1.
Woo.
Jordan Love, 97. Brock Purdy. Based on those stats from last season, which you said he had a pretty good season.
He did.
You said
96.1 passer rating.
That's 12 or 13th in the league. So middle of the pack, if you will, almost.
Okay, let's just look at career-wise for him.
This guy.
3 years. He's played 3 years. His passer rating is 104.9. That's everything. That's every game.
No, nobody's arguing that. No, nobody. He's had a good career.
Yeah.
Last season, 12th, 13th best quarterback in the league. That's all I'm saying. I mean, he's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. I'm not arguing that.
Well, what are you saying?
No, I'm just proving that, but because we're putting him on this pedestal like he's actually accomplished something. The people in the text line said, Drapes, all those guys you mentioned before, they ain't do nothing. But I got Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. You know, I got Joe Burrow. Hell, Joe Burrow's been to a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow's been there.
Excellent.
You know, and you talk about injuries, he's been banged up. But my thing about Brock is, and this is the issue I've had since he came onto the scene, and this is why people always, try and drag him down, is because those outside fans, media members act like he's the best thing since sliced bread. He's a good quarterback.
He's been great for the 49ers.
Except last year.
Well, none of them were great last year.
Okay.
But overall, he's been a great quarterback for the 49ers. He doesn't have the arm strength of other quarterbacks.
Jay coming back in on me.
Yeah.
Oh,
but I mean, if you want to criticize Brock Purdy, which I know is what you're trying to do without saying you're doing it, passer rating is just not the number to go to.
So, all right, give me a number then.
No,
I just told you last year
to criticize Brock
last
Purdy.
year he was 13th in the league in passer rating. That's not good, Whitey. That's not good.
Actually, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
So he's the 13th best quarterback in the league
No,
last year.
no.
Last year he was the 13th best.
Passer rating doesn't mean you're the 13th best quarterback.
What do
Who
you
was
got,
number
Jay?
one in passer rating?
What do you got? Oh, let me pull it up. Number one, Lamar Jackson.
Oh, okay. So he's best quarterback in the league then.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. 2-time MVP.
Who's number two?
Number 2, Jared Goff.
Second best quarterback in the league.
Number 3,
Joey Buckets. I'm just
Overrated.
saying these are. Hey, what you got on this?
This is to answer your question. The teardown of Brock is this, because, and we've had this discussion, he was missed on, Drapes. It is tough for people to say, hey, listen, that's my mistake.
Right.
Nobody wants to be wrong.
Absolutely.
Right.
Personally, it is hard to go to someone and say, I apologize, my mistake. We valued you wrong. And then the second part of it is this is straight out of a Disney book. It's hard for people to understand how the person who got drafted dead last can be good. So that's part of the narrative, part of the conversation. And that's why I say I wish he would have got the Super Bowl in, just not only for 49ers and 49er fans, but if he would have won that one, then everything would have been done. Can't say anything.
Can't say nothing.
And so
people still would have found something to say, though.
True, because, oh my goodness, he didn't throw the third touchdown of the game. Like, yeah, absolutely. But it's funny you say Joey Buckets, Joey Burrow. Joey Burrow's getting a pass right now, is he not? Is he catching a lot of heat from your standpoint?
No, not at all.
Okay,
and it's because not only his injury,
okay,
because he
was,
but his teammates' injury. You're right. He's getting a pass.
So my boy came.
So I'm saying going into this season, he can't get no pass.
Okay,
Brock Purdy can't get no pass
Okay,
anymore.
okay.
We already used the injury pass. That's done.
All right,
that's done. You got paid 53. You got to deliver now.
So,
in terms of the average annual, Brock Purdy right now is behind Tua. It's
we know he's better than Tua. Right. I'm saying we all agree on that. I'm not arguing.
So he's 8. He's basically 8th. Or no, he's 7th. He's still 7th because Jared Goff is 8th. Okay.
Yeah, Jared Goff. Yeah.
TBC. We got a break. I still got something for you. To be continued.
Jay been back there researching for the last 15 minutes. That's all right.
Jay, real quick, do you think these are good numbers? 62.6% completion percentage, 1,343 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Take it.
That's Brock Purdy in 6 postseason games.
62% completion is
it got to come up a little bit.
That's
I agree.
average. Come on,
I'm not running from that.
Come on,
Whitey. That's in the postseason.
But then Whitey, come on, bro. Come
Above
on.
60 is good.
Come on. 60, Jay. I'm not going to start celebrating 62% passer completion percentage.
Come on.
Live and local, it's the Tribe Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Big news today. Well, there's two big pieces of news. One, of course, the WNBA season's tipping off tonight. And then you got the Valkyries are playing,
Valkyries
right?
first regular season game,
Yeah,
right?
how about that? WNBA season, I'm joking, obviously, but it is a big deal now, right? Opening night of the WNBA, people are aware of it. There was a time, I don't know, when did they start? I don't know. Did they start yet? But the big news, of course, Brock Purdy signing his new deal with the 49ers. Can we agree that this is wrong, Drapes?
Yeah.
On the text line, Brock Purdy is Derek Carr. Can we agree that that's incorrect? I mean,
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
to me, Carr had like a very small sample, like where he was elite, like up there. Now, Brock Purdy's better than Derek Carr.
Yes. Yeah. All right. See,
we
more
can
common
see
ground.
we got that.
More
We got
common
that.
ground.
We got that, right?
Mm-hmm. The deal for Brock Purdy is once again, here's a contract deal here, $265 million extension, 5 years. So he will make, according to NFL media, $181 million in total guarantees, including $165.05 million in the first 3 years of a contract that runs through the 2030 season. And there are indications here that at that point, after 3 years, the 49ers, if for whatever reason they wanted to go in another direction, it wouldn't be that difficult to move off of that. Despite it's a 5-year deal.
Right. It gives the team some flexibility.
Yeah. 3 years is a
forward.
long time in pro football.
It really is. It really is. And, especially, and this is not a diss, but this gives Brock more time to prove himself. And then when that 3 years is up, now he's perhaps in a good bargaining position. Hey, I won you a Super Bowl. I took you to another one.
Mm-hmm.
Now give me my $60 million or whatever it might be at that time. And so I think you said it, Jay said it, win-win for both sides.
Yeah, I think
both
so.
sides walk away feeling, all right, we got what we wanted out of this deal.
Yeah, and you never know about ease of schedule because it's based on teams' records from last year. Teams get better, so when you're playing a team, it doesn't necessarily matter what they were the year before. But 49ers, it looks like they got that schedule that you get when you go 6-11. They got an easy schedule.
They really do. And I think I read, easiest schedule in the league since 2015.
Oh, really?
Or somebody? Yeah.
And your team has one of, if not the
Dog,
toughest.
I was looking at the Eagles schedule, man, and I'm like, and the problem with the Eagles schedule, the late games, like later in the season, like the teams we got to play. And I'm going to use we because that's my squad, Philadelphia.
Sure.
At Washington, at Buffalo. That's tough right there. That's a tough schedule. And then to start the season, I know Dallas, we should win that. But at KC, damn, we got to go to KC. Fortunately, KC usually struggles out the gate. Usually they're trying to figure some things out, so hopefully, but yeah, we got to, at Minnesota is on, at Green Bay is on that list. And so it's definitely a tough schedule.
The way it sets up for the Niners, they have a chance to just coast into the postseason. Their schedule it's not that hard to begin with, and it gets really easy at the end. But obviously, you got to play the games.
Yeah, and
I
I'm
think the
looking at it.
Lions have a tougher schedule than your team, but those
That's
two
about
teams
it,
are,
huh?
yeah.
The thing about the Niners schedule, maybe at Houston, at Tampa, but their tough games probably come in division, right? With the Rams.
Yeah,
you would
those are
say?
the big games.
Those are the big games,
Mhm.
Other than that, New Orleans, you should be able to beat. You should beat New Orleans.
Yes.
Jacksonville, you should
Yes.
beat them. Atlanta, you should beat them. Come on now. Giants, like a lot of cupcakes, Carolina on this schedule.
Yeah, I know I mentioned this yesterday, but listen to this, Drapes. The 49ers don't play a single 2024 playoff team over the final 8 weeks of the season.
I'll tell you what, we need to clip this and save it, because when the Niners are like 13-3,
yeah,
we can point back. They should smooth sailing this season.
Yeah,
they should. Anything less than 14 wins, 13 wins, I'd say.
Well, I have them 16-1.
I wouldn't be surprised, Whitey. Like, seriously. What's Seattle doing? Who does Seattle have at quarterback this year? I don't recall.
They got
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, Sam Darnold.
Oh,
yeah.
Sammy Dimes. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
49ers open against him.
Yeah, that should be a good one. On the road. That'll be a good game.
That's a win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the, like you were saying, the marquee games for the 49ers right now, it looks
Division
like they're
games.
those divisional games.
Right.
They got a Monday night game against Carolina.
Yeah. I know. I don't
What is
understand that. I'm looking at the schedule, November 24th. That's not even like a Christmas day or, it's
Right.
Monday Night Football against Carolina.
I think they have a Sunday game later than that against the Colts. There's a good chance that might get flexed out.
Yeah.
So that's what happens when you go 6-11. The league takes care of you.
And you're a marquee franchise, and I understand it. It's the Niners are up there with the Cowboys, the Chiefs now. I guess I got to throw them in. Talking about these legacy franchises, these big name franchises, and so I get why Niner fans are feeling good, optimistic. It seems like everything's coming together for you, whereas last year it seemed like everything that could go wrong did go wrong.
Right. Yeah. That's enough of the 49ers for now. I'm sure we'll be back.
What do we want to talk
it.
about now?
I want to talk about the NBA playoffs, Drapes. The Denver Nuggets. We got a game 7. Forget about the Michael Jordan flu game. Ooh, the Jamal Murray illness game. Right up there with the Jordan flu game.
I don't believe he was hurt, injured, or ill or anything like that. Playing the way he did.
45 minutes before game time. They didn't know.
No,
This is a Disney movie waiting to happen.
I've gone on record. I don't like the Nuggets. I've said it 1,000 times. But what we see from them is a heart of a champion.
I agree.
They have the moxie. That's why this series is 3-3. They've been there. They have the experience. They know how to turn it up. And playoff Jamal Murray is a thing. This guy still hasn't made an all-star team, ladies and gentlemen. But in terms of, he holds the Nuggets record for most 40-point games in a postseason and throughout his career. And so this guy raises his level. And to me, that's the difference between Denver and Oklahoma City right now. Denver's number 2 is showing up, playing well. J-Dub, Jalen Williams, he on a milk carton right now. This dude has been missing all series long. And so it would not shock me if Denver goes into there on Sunday, game 7, and wins that game in OKC. They're a tough team. Only issue for them now is Aaron Gordon's hamstring.
Right.
Pulled it a little bit. Got to see how he comes out of that. But damn, Denver's good, man.
Yeah. Look at this is their victory total since 2017. That's back a ways, right?
Yeah.
40, 46, 54, 46, 47, 48, 53, 57, 50. I mean, that's, Scott Perry talks about sustained competitiveness. That's an amazing stretch. And they do have a championship in there as well. And I know you don't like it. I'm not trying to say you're wrong or anything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you look at that as a basketball fan, it's like, whoa, that's pretty good.
Damn good. I mean, it's that they've been the model of consistency. And you remember going into last season or 2 seasons ago, Monty, or I think it was going into last season, Monty was like, us and Denver, the only 2 teams, like we're second to only Denver. And it's like, nah, bro, we're light years away from them. It sounded good at the time, but it goes to show you, Whitey, when you got guys to build around, their core has been together for a minute now. And I'm talking MPJ, Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, and Jokic. That's where we need to get to as a franchise. We haven't had any stability among players even.
Yeah.
Like, hell, De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis got 3.5 seasons together? Aaron Gordon's been there, 5, I think it is. Jokic and Murray, been there together their entire careers. We need to identify our guys. And when you find our guys, look at Boston, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. They've been together. We got to stop all this topsy-turvy changing all the time. We got to build some stability. Like you're saying, what Scott Perry wants to do.
Yeah. I guess, Calvin Booth had to go for whatever reason. But you look at some of the players he's brought in to kind of fill in around those veterans and guys and they're starting to play well, like Strother and, Christian Brown. Where would they be without Christian Brown?
Yeah.
And even Peyton Watson. They made some clever moves for an organization that didn't want to spend a lot of money. They've made smart moves to stay relevant, but we'll see. I'm with you on Aaron Gordon's hamstring could be Could be the death knell for them in Game 7.
Yeah, and I look at Denver. I've ripped them the last couple of years. Oh, you let KCP go. You let Bruce Brown go. These young guys, Christian Brown, like you said, he was massive last night. He was huge last night.
He's tough.
He's tough. And he plays defense. Nobody talks about that. He gives Shea some troubles out there, some fits out there. And then Strother, like you said, where did this guy come from? We saw him earlier, against the Kings play well against us. But this guy been on ice pretty much the postseason. He comes in the biggest game and can't miss. And so to your point about Calvin Booth, he's actually done a pretty good job, despite being fired.
Yeah. Now, how about if we get Minnesota and Denver? Didn't that guy Tim Connolly build both those rosters?
He did.
That's
impressive. A good dude, right? Yeah. That's something, man. And it's I was thinking about it too, Whitey. Indiana, kudos to them. But when you look at the West, OKC, Minnesota, and Denver, I could see all three of those teams winning the championship. Whoever gets through this, and then obviously the Western Conference Finals, I think they're the favorite, especially with Tatum out now in Boston. The champs has to come from the West, I feel like. This year.
When we come right back, how much would you give up to get the Kings into the first round of this draft? Is that a thing? Next, Sacktown Sports.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
There are so many benefits of working with the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. Now, we chose them to get our new garage doors, and we're so thrilled that we did. They look absolutely amazing. Jason Ross here. And for us, well, we just flat out needed new garage doors. But maybe you do as well, or maybe it's just repairs to your existing doors. Well, the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento can help you with that. It is also a great time of year because this is when homes go on the market. So is yours ready? Well, one thing, don't forget about that garage door, because a new garage door can increase the value of your home. First off, with Curb Appeal, a new modern or stylish garage door can improve the overall appearance of your house. Also, the return on investment. It is one of the most cost-effective upgrades to increase your home value. You can see for yourself. Just visit the showroom off Franklin Boulevard and ask about the Sacktown Sports Special. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Father's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know, right?
Print it all for dads and grads at Staples. And right now, get 40% off custom cards, invites, and photo gifts. N75 exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Grapes, you think I was excited about the Brock Purdy news? You think Jay was excited about the Brock Purdy news? How about Tyrese Halliburton? He's thrilled.
Yeah, shouldn't he be in the gym working on his jumper or something like that, Tyrese? Calm the hell down. Yeah, so he posted on Twitter/X.
Yeah.
Quote tweeted the NFL's tweet about Brock Purdy, and basically, it's just a bunch of people dancing that he put together.
Yeah.
I didn't know Tyrese was a Brock Purdy.
It's a college thing.
College,
yeah. I remember him saying once that he said in college, Brock was like Batman. At first, I thought, oh, that's cool. And then he just said, no one ever saw him. He was gone all the time. He was working on his game.
Yeah.
But, yeah. There you go. The big Brock Purdy news today. The 49ers got that settled. Drape says that he's right. All right, there's no excuses now, Mr. Irrelevant or not. You got to perform, and I'm sure the 49ers feel the same way about that.
Yeah.
There's no like, okay, well, you got this new contract. Take a few years
Yeah,
to
it's
work
like,
into it. No,
right. No, you're our guy. You're like,
Yeah.
you are the man.
Uh-huh.
And so, no, imagine that though, Whitey. I mean, you make $1 million a year, something like that. So
Give or take.
give or take. Somebody hand you a check, whatever the guarantee is, or the signing bonus, or $53 million a year. That's like you're in the NFL, but you're only making $1 million. You're not rich yet.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of athletes' money. Now $53 million a year.
Yeah. Who was the guy? The Kings were interested in him. I think he was kind of local and he was on the Heat. Johnson. When the salary cap went way up a few years ago.
Yeah.
And he got like $30 million a year or something. I'll have to look it up. I apologize. But he said he got physically ill. He got
Really?
the check and he was like, he just threw up. He couldn't fathom making that much money. Tyler Johnson?
Tyler Johnson?
Yeah.
Was he a local guy?
I think he might have been semi-local.
Yeah, I remember Tyler's guard. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember he
him.
told the story. He said, yeah, I got sick to my stomach.
Yeah. Man, if I got that check, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Mhm.
I'm buying everything. I'm taking trips. Gym? What gym? I ain't working out. Give me a month to blow this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm partying. Yeah, I'm out there.
Yeah. He was, he went to high school in Mountain View.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But yes, I remember that story.
Yeah.
That's what I think of when people say,
Shout
"What would you
out
like
to him,
make
man.
that much money."
I will say this: as much as I throw hate on Brock Purdy, you know, the player, I'm happy for him, the person. Like, this is because he's done everything right. Came in, worked hard, won the job, performed at a high level, and now he's getting rewarded for it. Like, shout out to him and his family, man. This changes everything. This changes the legacy of your family going forward.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then to your point about, you know, whether he's the team leader, I don't know. He's one of them. It's a fair question, but the fact that he went in and, you know, went to OTAs and stuff when he didn't have to,
Yeah.
maybe that speaks to that.
Yeah.
At least he's trying to be a leader.
Yeah.
Trying to, because he didn't have to.
Yeah. Do you think with Debo gone, more is going to be asked of him to be a leader, you think, of Brock? Like, I feel like Debo is such a big presence, you know, vocal presence. Does Brock need to take on a more leadership role now?
I got the sense that it was two completely different types of leadership.
Okay.
You know, Brock was more the let's go, fellows, I'm the quarterback,
Yeah.
which is valuable. And then Debo was just more
Right.
like, look what he's doing. It's incredible.
Yeah.
He's doing
Yeah.
things physically, you know, not so much last year, but he just led by example
Yeah.
more, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, I hear you. I was just thinking, though, I'm looking at Debo in Moody's face, you know, just the
Yeah.
vocal part of it, like his presence. How will that impact, you know, Brock going forward? Like Debo being gone. It'll be
Ricky P, baby.
Tricky Ricky P.
Number one.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you got what? Kittle. I'm just looking at, I guess Trent Williams is still, would you say he's the,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
the OG leader of the
Mhm.
squad?
We had
And
Josh
Kittle. Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday we had Josh Dubo on from the AP and he covers
Yeah,
the
what'd he say?
49ers. So I asked him about McCaffrey. He's like, can we assume McCaffrey's healthy? He said, well, he is right now.
Right.
You know, it's like,
Well, that's
we'll
a big
see.
question mark.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. And are they expecting Ayuk to be ready or no?
At some
Do we know?
point, I don't
Okay.
think to start the
Not to
season,
start?
but yeah, it's a little unclear.
Okay.
So you're getting excited about 49er football.
I am. I really am, actually. I'm excited to get this thing because now it's like, all right, you got your quarterback locked up. Schedule is out. Draft is done. Like, let's get some, camp going. Let's get training camp going and really get down to the game.
Seen brighter suns here in the Chateau has the comment of the day. That Carolina game. Carolina Eagles a trap game. That's great. We're already talking about trap games
game
for the
already.
49ers. Yeah, you're right. And then Amadrock asks, do you think Brock's parents are still selling hot tubs? Only if they really, really
Right.
like
They
it.
must love that job, right? Yeah, they must love that job, man. Weren't we talking basketball? I forget.
Yeah,
Were
I
we,
did want to see what
yeah.
you thought. You've talked about it a lot. The Kings getting back in the
yeah.
first round. And, you know, the Guillory report that the Kings met with Jeremiah Fears.
Yeah.
How much would you give up to get back into the first round? And maybe you wouldn't. Maybe not much. But how much would you give up?
You said first round.
To get back
Not-
into the
not
first
just-
round.
Not
of this-
lottery, but just
Yeah.
17, maybe. something.
Maybe. You know, Philadelphia supposedly, they might be willing to part with that pick. Daryl Morey said, I think it was yesterday, he said, oh, we're planning to use that pick. So it's like, okay, they're going to trade it.
Yeah, right. Daryl Morey. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, let's talk about that number 3 pick. I don't know if whoever is there, whether it's Harper, Edgecombe, whoever, that's not a slam dunk, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be a little weary of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be, because to get a pick like that, you're going to have to give up a Sabonis and like a future first or second. Like, I get having a young player that you can build around, but unless it's number 1, I'm not giving up the farm just to get the 3rd pick or the 6th pick or something like that. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah. Well, I know what you mean. Even Fears, who has tremendous upside, he's very young, and I'm not saying he would go at 3, but even a lot of the scouts say about him, it's like a little risky. I mean, he had tremendous upside, but there's a lot of stuff we just don't know yet.
Yeah.
He's not that good of a shooter. For example, his handle's a little rough, so he could be a great player, but he might not be.
Yeah. And I mean, I think, from what we've been talking about on this show in terms of trade, it seems like only one name keeps coming up for us. It's who we would send out.
Mm-hmm.
And so would you send out a DeRozan for a number 20 pick even?
Yeah, I think I would.
Damn, why do you?
Because I need to get younger.
You want to get rid of DeRozan, whatever it takes. That's what it's
I'm
at.
assuming that he wants out too. So it's like I kind of have to get rid of him.
But do we? And I hear you, and I understand what you're saying. But is his value a little more than that? Maybe
I don't know.
20+ point per game score. I know, some people might think he's not a winning basketball player in today's NBA, but I don't want to just give him away for scraps.
No, I don't either. But I think I'm over a barrel because he's not a good fit with what I have. If he stays, then somebody else has got to go, which is certainly a possibility. So I think something's got to move. And if he's like, this isn't what I thought, then that's the guy I got to move. I have no idea what his value is. I don't think it'll be necessarily that high, but like we've been saying, maybe Miami, right? Maybe somebody that's looking for a veteran score. Maybe Philadelphia. I mean, it's kind of hard to believe, but maybe they would say, you know what? He would really help us coming off the bench.
So I'm looking at the Ringers draft board.
Yeah.
They got Fears at 15.
Mm-hmm.
I might be interested in that.
Yes.
15. All right, talk to me now.
Yeah.
Like 3, I'm not, I feel like, honestly, 3, 4, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, it's crapshoot no matter what. Like outside of Cooper Flagg, I don't know if I'm feeling 100% confident on anybody in this draft. And so if I could get up into 15 and draft the Jeremiah Fears, if you're Sacramento, to me, that's as good as getting up to number 10, let's say, or number 8. Like this guy says, I think Kevin O'Connor wrote this, calls Fears a walking paint touch at lead guard who is unearthing his potential ahead of schedule.
Mm-hmm. They must like something about him, right? If they've actually talked to him, unless they talked to everybody. They didn't that we know of. 50, you said 15? That's OKC. 14's the Spurs, 13 is the pick the Kings had originally.
So 15 is OKC.
Yeah.
Do we have anything they want? Like, I feel, especially if they lose on Sunday, they may be looking to shake some things up, bringing a veteran scorer alongside Shea, somebody that can deliver in the clutch moments when the lights are brightest, because J-Dub, he hasn't been able to do that. And so maybe they might be interested in DeMar, All right, give me that 15 overall pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who else might be willing to trade out of their slot? 7 New Orleans, 8 Brooklyn, 9 Toronto, 10 Houston, 11 Portland, 12 Chicago, 13 the Hawks, 14 Spurs, 15.
I don't see any fits among any of those teams, right? For what we're, thinking about offloading.
9. Hey, Toronto, we'll work something out. We'll send your guy back home.
Yeah. Masai Ujiri and DeMar don't even see eye to eye at this point, and there's no way. Remember, they got Ingram now too.
Yeah, I know.
So,
All right, take a quick timeout. When we come back, Reports of the Celtics' demise may have been premature. That's next on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Mostly clear skies tonight, turning mostly cloudy overnight. We will see some clearing for your Saturday with a few clouds popping up in the afternoon. Temperature starting off in the 50s will warm into the upper 70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Memorial Day celebration comes early at Elk Grove Honda. See, test drive, and purchase your brand new Elk Grove Honda at attractive prices right now. Visit Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. We have the right Honda at the right price.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture with daily use.
Ooma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
At SMUD, we power local business with incentives on clean energy equipment, tools to manage electricity usage and save money, tailored solutions from dedicated strategic account advisors, and 50% lower rates than neighboring utilities, all while doing more for the planet with clean energy solutions, savings, reliability, personalized service, clean energy, helping local businesses thrive. That's our clean power promise. Learn more at smud.org.
The Hagen Oaks Cutting Edge Putter Fitting Studio offers you more technology, more choices, and more service. Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. With $30,000 worth of state-of-the-art technology ready for your fitting, Hagen Oaks will help you make your best putting stroke while finding the best putter design, shape, hosel, length, and loft for your game. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for more.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
People are coming from all over to Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, from Folsom, Elk Grove, Woodland, Roseville, because they've seen for themselves the huge selection and the best prices at SackSuperstore.com. Good luck finding a lower price anywhere else. And if you do, they'll match it. It's as simple as that. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where a handshake still means something. Open until 10 o'clock and essentially located right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. And online at SackSuperstore.com. The guaranteed lowest price and the best selection of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeeps, and Rams. SackSuperstore.com.
For 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Smoke, right?
White smoke coming
the
out
deal is
indicating
done.
that Brock Purdy has his new deal.
The deal is done. It's like they named a new pope out there in Santa Clara.
Everybody's excited. Tyrese Halliburton's excited. Yeah. Speaking of the NBA, the playoffs moving on tonight with a big game 6.
Yeah.
Maybe those Celtics aren't done yet.
No, it's they were impressive, 127-102 the other day over the Knicks, and even without Jason Tatum.
How'd they do that without Jason Tatum?
Well, first of all, you got to have Celtic pride. I mean, this is an organization that won 18 championships, tremendous home court advantage.
Sure.
Jaylen Brown, obviously,
Somebody must have
he's a
stepped up.
terrific player. But you know who their best player was in that game?
Who was that?
Hold on. Let me pull out the box score. Al only had 12. Al Horford had 12. Porzingis only played 12 minutes. Drew Holiday, Drew 14. Got to be him.
Pritchard was
off
pretty
the
good.
bench. He had 17. Yeah. But 34. Let me see who scored. Derek White had 34. So hold up. In a playoff game, in an elimination game, your season on the line.
Yeah.
Derek White was the best player on the floor with 34 points. But some people in this studio here at Sacktown Sports 1140 ain't going to give Derek White his love. Jay, you got the floor. Can you apologize right now?
You want me to apologize for one game?
Damn Skippy.
One game.
Yes.
You won't even apologize about Brock Purdy.
Because this was the biggest game of the season.
He's offering you Derek White amnesty. Am I
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Free and clear. You
He's
come
the
clean
kind of
out.
guy we need, Jay.
He's average. He played ball when he needed to play ball last game. Do it again. But that's what you've been asking Brock Purdy to say to do, right? No,
This
is that
two
not?
different arguments
Okay,
here.
all right.
Look
Don't
how
try
many
that.
minutes he played, Drapes.
How many minutes?
My
he played
goodness.
last night?
39-53, so
Ooh,
almost 40 minutes.
minutes.
Yeah.
He was the best player. You got Brunson out there. You got Cat. You got Jaylen Brown. You got talking about Hall of Famers out there. And it's little old Derek White leading the way.
7 of 13 beyond the arc.
Nobody's saying he's a star, Jay. I'm saying he's
I'm
a
not.
winning basketball player that you need. You know who Derek White is? Guard size Aaron Gordon.
Okay. I can accept
Makes
that.
the winning
I can
plays.
accept that.
Not your star, not your second option, but just very solid. And when you need him, he's capable of elevating his game.
All the time?
Most of the time recently, yes. The game before that, 23, 17, 20, 19. This dude is balling, Jay.
He also had 3 blocks. I'm
3
telling you, that guy's
blocks.
a rim protecting
Yes.
guard.
I tell
But
you
anyway,
what.
yeah. This is between you two. Really.
I might give up a first round pick.
Be
for Derek
careful.
White.
Be careful.
Ooh.
Be careful.
I think. Would you give up a pick for Derek White at this
Me?
stage? Yeah.
I don't know. How about you, Jay?
That'd be no. A first round pick? No. And if so, it's got to be bottom third protected, which means it's got to
He said top 20 protected. That's messed up, man. That's messed
Look,
up.
Derek White, and this is the thing. I know you painting the picture. Derek White is a good ball player. I totally get it. But Drapes, I can't argue last game. He ball, and I was literally in the studio. He hit 2 or 3 walk up threes, and I was
Bam,
yeah.
splash.
I said, I know I'm gonna have to hear about that sooner or later. And the fact that they got the W. What I'm saying about Derek White is this. he is in a perfect system. He is, and that's why I talk about Brock Purdy. He is a system star right now.
But didn't he have to be more than the system when the system's biggest player was out?
No, because that's just one piece of the system. That's not the whole system.
But it's the biggest piece.
Well, that's just a missing button in the system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the frequency just actually, you got to turn it up a little louder than normal. And so to me, Derek White, and that's what I continue to keep on saying. I know he was a decent ball player at San Antonio. People say, well, he's a good ball player. He was decent. He was decent.
Solid.
He was decent. Boston, he's got the perfect coach for him. He's got veterans all around him. He's got stars all around him, which you said, Hall of Fame guys. It's not hard to go in there and have all the confidence in the world and play ball.
So he didn't develop, though? His game didn't mature?
No, it
and
has.
develop,
It definitely
you know
has.
what I
It
mean?
definitely has.
That's what I
Yeah,
think.
definitely
You know?
has.
And sometimes what you see is guys get to that point and then they're able to take it elsewhere and be the guy, or not the guy, but, you know, be who they were in Boston. Like, I look at Derek White. It's not like he's getting in his bag, developed a dribble. He's knocking down shots and he's playing good defense. That should be able to travel, Jay.
Yeah, but I think it works when you have to. There's a difference, and we know this. If you're playing good defense and you're able to knock down a shot in Washington, no, we need more than that. If you're Derek White, we need you to be a star. We need you to lead this team, go put up 30. It's the Jordan Poole effect. Jordan Poole looked great with Golden State 9 times out of 10, even though the Warriors fans talk bad about him when he had bad games. But what I'm saying is now he's dropped over to Washington or Kyle Kuzma. No, we need more. We need more from you. We don't need you just to be the guy to close the show, have 12 points, hit a couple of buckets. Come over here to Washington and be a star. He doesn't have to do that for Boston.
So you're saying it's easier, not
Yes.
easy, but easier
Yes.
for him to do that
because he's
when
in
the
a great
defense
system.
is focusing on. We got to focus on Brown.
He's
that's
still
where-
the third or fourth person,
But that's
even
why I
with
think
Tatum gone.
with us, that fits in. We don't need somebody to come in and be the guy. I'm taking 25 shots. We need somebody that can run the show a little bit, can defend on the perimeter and make shots, and defend at the rim. Whitey said 3 block shots the other night.
The problem is, and this is my thing with
We
that,
got
is
scores, Jay.
the problem, no, Drapes, is when he comes to Sacramento, it's going to be the Harrison Barnes effect. Someone's going to leave, meaning DeMar, Zach, DeMontis, somebody's going to have to leave. So he's going to move up the pecking order, which means now, and that was the thing about Harrison, your money dictates people's reaction to what you do, your finality on the court. And that's why people got on Harrison Barnes. You're making so much money when he first came back, making $20-some-odd million. And even the 17 that Vlade re-signed him to, the 3 years of 17, de-escalating, 19, 18, 17, 17. People were still crying about it because his numbers didn't add up to his contract. And so if Derek White comes over here, and let's just say he makes $30 million for the Sacramento Kings, is he not going to be considered a top 2 guy on his roster?
Depends who's left.
Like if you
but it's
tell
close.
me we got Sabonis,
okay,
Zach,
okay,
and Derek White, I'm liking that. I'm actually liking that.
But aren't some people going to say, well, DeMontis needs to step back. He's the 3 now. Derek White needs to move up and be a 2. That's the thing. What I'm saying is when Derek White leaves Boston, and he may never leave Boston, that's the argument there. But if he moves to another team and he is required to do more, now I'm ready to see what Derek White is about. Let's get him out of his comfort zone. Let's get him away from Tatum. Let's get him away from Kristaps, even though he's not balling. Let's get him away from solid veterans, a great structure. I know that you don't want to, but unfortunately, sometimes it takes, as you said sometimes it takes for you to be decent, move to another place, do well, now move to a third place. Let's see you do that.
It's hard for me to say this because Drew Holiday is one of my favorite players.
Yeah.
I think Derek White's better than Drew Holiday.
Nah, don't say
I
that.
said
Whitey,
last
don't do
week,
that
Whitey,
yet.
and this guy
Whitey, don't say
jumped
that
down
yet.
my throat. I
Don't
honestly
say that,
think
Whitey.
that, and I don't like thinking that, but I think he is. But he's going to be 31 next year.
Yeah.
And for me, I want the Kings to get younger.
Derek White's going to be 31?
Yeah.
What's he making?
Next year, he'd be at 28.
Solid.
28, 30, 32, and then a player option for 34.
That's chump change.
Well, we're going to find out because Tatum's going to miss some time. Let's say they move off Drew Holiday. Al is long in the tooth, right?
Yeah.
Porzingis probably not going to be there next year. So if they retool and he's now the number 2, let's talk about it. Then we'll start to have conversations, because now you've moved up the whiteboard and now defenses are going to be preying on you. You're on a scouting report now.
Mm-hmm. I like him, Trace, but I just want to get younger. You know, he's good. He's really good.
So
some, in my opinion,
right?
Not everybody shares that theory.
Right? Yeah, I hear you. I mean, and that's a Scott Perry question. Do you want to add somebody now that can help you get to a 6 seed or something like that, or do you want to get younger and build for 2, 3, 4 years from now?
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Kings have to figure out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Man, I can't believe you just admitted that Derek White to you was better than Drew Holiday. Drew is your boy.
This stage,
I know.
Drew's 34?
34. Yep, just looked it up. 34.
Drew's starting. It's just a little. I'm seeing it like
it's coming.
Drew will be 35.
He's on the other side of the hill.
I still like him better than Derek White, but I think Derek White is a better player right now.
I wonder though, if
I lost respect for myself.
I know. In regard to Drew, I wonder if, because he's not being asked to do more, he doesn't have to show. Like, does he have more, but he's not being asked to do that?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We'll be back with more on the Kings NBA playoffs and Brock Purdy's new deal next on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Mostly clear skies tonight, turning mostly cloudy overnight. We will see some clearing for your Saturday, with a few clouds popping up in the afternoon. Temperature starting off in the 50s will warm into the upper 70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Roseville Auto Mall is Northern California's ultimate destination when looking for your next vehicle. Find the largest selection with 20 top brands. Take advantage of huge savings during our Memorial Day sales event going on now at the Roseville Auto Mall. Driven to be the best.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, with second baseman Zach Geloff having spent the entire year on the IL, the A's offseason acquisition of Luis Urias as a free agent has turned out to be a shrewd move. As of the end of the last homestand, Urias had started 20 consecutive games at second base, hitting 4 home runs, including a walk-off against the White Sox, and his OPS almost .830. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Zach Geloff suffered a setback as he was pulled from his rehab assignment with AAA Las Vegas due to a stress reaction in his ribs that occurred while taking a swing. There is no timetable for his return. Ken Waldichuk, out with that left elbow sprain, threw all 30 of his pitches in a side session last week and will throw another session this week and is targeting a return during the All-Star break. This injury report was brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah. One-stop Honda shop.
San Francisco.
What a laser from Brock Purdy, and what a catch.
San Francisco 49ers single game tickets are available now.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Fred gets up and runs back the other way. One block and he's in. Gonna throw left for the end zone. It's caught by George Kittle.
Secure your seats at 49ers.com/tickets.
Touchdown!
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
You know, it's Friday, so we were just talking fruit a few moments ago. And remarkably, Ramsey, who's keeping us on air today, says if he had his way, there'd be no bananas on the face of the earth. And I don't know, I think we were all kind of stunned for a minute there, right? I mean, that was just like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Do you have a smoothie at all or anything? Like
when I do have smoothies, I don't put bananas in it. I have nothing to do with bananas. I don't like them. My girlfriend doesn't like them. My dad doesn't like them. The family, for the most part, despises bananas.
Is it the taste, texture? What?
All of the above.
Wow. We started talking about bananas because we were talking about ice cream, and Jay reminded us that Doug Christie's favorite ice cream was chocolate ice cream with chopped bananas in it. And Ramsey's like, ah! Like, are you all right? No, bananas!
No, I love bananas in there. Mine is vanilla, bananas with vanilla wafers in there too. You a Nilla wafer guy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Just making
love
sure.
banana pudding, man.
Although they have gotten a lot smaller.
Right, they used to be thick, like kind of dense. You know, where you chew into it, you're like, yeah, you're right about that.
So, your favorite ice cream is vanilla too?
With banana, you said?
You're boring.
No, yeah, I could do. Yeah, I
bananas and wafers,
and Nilla wafers, or if I do the pretzels, you know. But yeah, vanilla.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up with the vanilla? I wouldn't have guessed that you'd be that boring when it came to ice cream.
You know what's crazy? Growing up, I used to like coffee ice cream. I used to. But now it's like I know what I like. Why switch it up?
I got you.
You know,
I'm with you. I don't really divert out of my normal.
You know,
vanilla is good because you can add stuff.
That's
true.
You
can a million things you can add.
True.
But Ramsey, you never had a banana split.
Never, won't do it.
Turns your nose up, babe?
No, I won't do it. Anything bananas, no.
That's probably like the worst food take ever. Like
that's pretty close. That might be close.
No, like
Houseway.
I can see. All right,
Houseway. I don't do bananas. Never have. Never will.
Is so basic, yo. It's so basic. I'm not telling you to eat kiwi or something like bananas. Mango. This is like
pomegranate,
dragon fruit,
right? Figs and stuff. No, but I'll probably eat other fruits that most people don't like. So it's
like what? You gotta put your name on it now.
I mean, like Whitey was saying, he said he's not a fan of grapefruit. I love grapefruit.
You put the sugar on top?
Yes,
too,
I
or
do.
no? Okay. all
Yes,
right,
I do.
can
Cut
see
it.
that.
See that?
Cut it
Well,
in
that's
half,
not the
eat it for
fruit itself,
breakfast.
though. You're adding something to it.
Dude, I'll drink grapefruit juice. Like,
Yes.
yeah,
aloe
I'll do
vera.
that.
I'll drink grapefruit juice whenever I get a chance.
Y'all crazy, man.
Why though? I mean, it's so bitter.
It's good. It's yummy.
Uh-huh.
You drink lemonade, right?
Yes, it's sweet. It's good.
But grapefruit, it's like it touches your taste buds. You know, it tingles your taste
my
buds.
taste buds say, "Ah!"
Dude, trust me. Next time you're a little groggy in the morning, don't want to get out of bed, got that little coal in your eye, you know, that stuff in the. Try some grapefruit juice.
So they're
You'll
like
wake up
smelling
just like
salts.
that. Exactly. Boy, you get the chills going. You're like, ugh.
All right, Ru, it started last night from Ice Cream Thursday.
Yes.
Whitey, the Gleason household has Ice Cream Thursday.
Yeah.
What was your
Shinya
flavor of
trotted
choice
out
last
some
night?
it's chocolate chip cookie dough.
That's
Love
a little.
it.
Come on,
Love
man.
it.
Come
Chocolate
on,
chip
man.
cookie dough.
Love it.
How old
That
is
was
she?
amazing.
12?
It was incredible.
That's like my stuff my kids eat.
Of course, that's why it's good. Kids eat things that's
It
bad
was
for you.
really good.
Right.
That's not too sweet.
Nah.
Chocolate chips and cookie dough.
That's a
Are
home run.
Dude, are you on here right now arguing chocolate chip
Yes,
cookie dough?
100%.
What's the base ice cream with chocolate chip cookie dough?
What is it?
Vanilla.
Vanilla.
But you got the chocolate chips, right? And the cookie dough.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's it. Like
It's
my
not
kids,
infested.
they'll
It's
order
just, you know-
cookie dough with a cookie dough topping.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
come on now. You
yeah.
can't do it. It's too sugary. It's too sweet.
Jay, some people like their vanilla ice cream and their grapefruit juice.
Right.
I understand.
They say fruit
You
juice.
just gotta play shuffleboard.
Right.
And have a great
Yeah,
time.
come on. You know where it came from?
Fruit
now?
juice.
I'm a vanilla milkshake guy.
Okay, I'm with
I
that.
love, that's my top go-to. And so it just carried over when I get regular ice cream. Just keep it moving. Let me get vanilla.
But Drapes, chocolate chip cookie dough starts with vanilla. Then you put the cookie dough and the chips in. So even if you just sprinkled a few, you're not feeling that?
That's diabetes in a cup.
Oh,
Come on, man. Come on now,
From
Jay.
the 209, frozen bananas are fire.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
are.
That's true.
Also from the 209, my mom used to dip vanilla wafers in her Kool-Aid.
Okay.
I can dig that. Nah, dude, I don't know if I could dig that, bro. Vanilla wafers in the Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
209.
Everybody like what they like, you know. Because wafers, as you said, they're dense. You need something, a liquid to wash them down.
Vanilla.
Yeah.
Real quick, as we talking about, any of you guys just a regular milk drinker? I can't
do
drink
it.
milk.
Yeah,
Nope.
I can't do
Nope. Whitey, you drink a glass of milk every now and then?
Depending on if I have something spicy.
Oh,
some curry or something. Yeah.
But you're not, home from work after a long day.
Typically,
Let
no,
me get
but I'm
some
not,
milk. Okay,
I
all right.
wouldn't turn my nose up
All
at it.
right.
You ain't eating pasta and drinking milk. Yeah, that gets me. It's like this is the first time fellas. Okay, I'm gonna take over the show real fast. Around here, when you're in 5th or 6th grade, depending on what your elementary graduates, one of the things, the passage was going to a place called Sly Park.
Yeah,
Ramsey, did you go to Sly Park?
I didn't, but it was like you said, it was a rite of passage.
Okay,
I personally didn't go.
I didn't, but I know, kids have and a lot of people have.
Okay, yeah. So shouts out to my Porcupine cabin folks. That was the cabin I was up there. And it's on the way to Lake Tahoe, Drapes,
Okay,
going up
okay.
going up the hill up to 50. And this was the first time. Now, coming from the neighborhood where I come from, all that good jazz, we'll need to get into that. The fact of the matter is milk wasn't a beverage that you drunk for dinner where I came from, right? My household. You didn't drink water, some juice, soda, whatever the case may be.
milk
Something.
Yeah,
milk was
cereal.
breakfast, straight breakfast. Yeah. Right, exactly. Or it was an ingredient you cooked with,
right?
That type of thing. So we go up to Sly Park, and I remember going through, it's like a buffet style, when you're eating your dinner. It's a camp for kids, basically. You're going through, you pick up your tray, you get your food, and then you get to the liquid stop, right? We all been to buffets. Shouts out JJ North. You remember JJ North growing up here?
I don't.
Wow.
I do.
Man, JJ North.
I most definitely do.
Folks. And so you're going through, and I remember grabbing a cup, and I look, and it's like milk, skim milk, whole fat milk,
chocolate milk at least.
Chocolate milk.
Okay. All right.
Now,
what are you doing?
I'm 12 or 11 or 12. and I have pizza or whatever I'm eating, a burger, how am I supposed to drink milk with this? With a burger and fries? It didn't make sense. That was the first time it ever registered in my mind. Wow, people drink milk for dinner?
Like when it's dark out, people drink milk?
Yes, because you see it on TV sitcoms, especially, 30s and 40s, old movie stuff like that. Like milk with dinner? Who does that?
I used to do it as a kid. We had to.
Yeah, why do you, like you said, with the 20s and 30s, you know what I mean?
Right.
Nick still does that today.
Really?
Yep. If he's he likes Starry soda, but if we don't have that,
yes,
it's milk.
For dinner?
For dinner.
With a burger and fries?
For dinner.
What?
Yeah.
He's probably been doing that since he was real little, huh?
Yeah. He's always been in the milk. He's
Is
one
he
of those type that could drink
a vitamin D, a 2%.
He's a 2%.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, he's a 2%.
So he's a blue label guy.
Yeah,
That's the same with
exactly.
milk.
Blue
If
label.
you have cookies,
I am too.
Right.
You have to have milk if you have cookies.
Agreed.
And then you dip it in, some of it falls in there, and then at the
Oh,
end,
that's
it's just a saturated.
That's
cookies.
beautiful.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about, Whitey. Now I can dig that.
Yes.
Come on now.
Yes.
Man.
That's the best. When we come back, all the remaining NBA teams, did they tank to get where they are? We'll look at that in terms of what the Kings may need to do. Also, we got Drapes guy Magnus for Magnuson coming up.
Yeah, what time is that? 4:30?
4:30.
Magnus.
Charles Haley to join us today as well. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Tell you a little story here. When our heater collapsed with a heavy sigh, we needed a new one in the worst way. And there are so many HVAC companies out there. How do you know what to choose? Well, as I've told you, Jose, who kind of runs the outfit here, he recommended we check out Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating at leesair.com. And it may be the best thing he's ever told me. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating was ready to come out the day that we called, treated us with respect, from the person who answered the phone to the guys who installed our new HVAC unit, which is an amazing unit. So it's why choose Lee's? That's a big question. They offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee. They get 4.8 stars on Google. A lot of friends recommend them. They've won awards for their service, and they've spent more than 40 years serving the Valley's HVAC heating and plumbing needs. And you can trust Lee's. That's a big thing. As I've found, you can trust Lee's with installation and repair of your AC, furnace, and water heater, plus residential and commercial plumbing repair and commercial HVAC services too. Find out more at leesair.com. Check out their mission statement. It's all about serving customers and community. And check on their $99 HVAC tune-up service. Yeah, let Lee's take care of you the way they took care of me, treating us like family while setting us up with an HVAC system that has improved our quality of life. That's what it's all about. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, license number 635355.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Memorial Day celebration comes early at Elk Grove Honda. There's no need to wait for Memorial Day weekend to see, test drive, and purchase your brand new Elk Grove Honda. Civic hybrids, Accord hybrids, CRV hybrids, and Pilots, Passports, Odysseys, HRVs, Prologue EVs, and so much more. They're all available right now at attractive prices. Whether you're looking to own or lease and can't wait until Memorial Day, visit Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. We have the right Honda at the right price.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Typically, a high handicapper carries an index of 20 or more. Golf Monthly's Barry Plummer offers 4 tips if you're tired of that high handicap. First, choose the right equipment. Invest in a 5-wood, which is more forgiving than a 3-wood or a 3 hybrid. It's a much better option for getting the ball in the air. Second, play for bogey on par 5s. Break the longer holes into manageable chunks, perhaps aiming to hit the green with 4 easy swings while also navigating away from the trouble along the way. 3, leave the sand wedge in the bag for chipping. Up and down percentages are almost twice as good when chipping a 9-iron over a sand wedge, and 3.5 times better with the putter. And finally, stop leaving your putts short. A 20 handicapper leaves 55% of their missed putts short of the hole. Give yourself a chance with every attempt and don't leave another putt short. Try these simple tips and let's see whether your handicap starts to come down. And have some fun out there. That'll help too. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
At SMUD, we power local business with incentives on clean energy equipment, tools to manage electricity usage and save money, tailored solutions from dedicated strategic account advisors, and 50% lower rates than neighboring utilities, all while doing more for the planet with clean energy solutions, savings, reliability, personalized service, clean energy, helping local businesses thrive. That's our clean power promise. Learn more at smud.org.
If you love golf but don't want to play the same 18 holes over and over, at Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, you get 27 holes of variety, so every round feels fresh. And with a Premier Club membership, you'll enjoy unlimited golf with a cart, unlimited range use, exclusive discounts, and 2 complimentary guest passes to share the experience. With pristine conditions, a scenic layout, and an award-winning reputation, Timber Creek and Sierra Pines is Sacramento's #1 rated golf destination. Stop waiting. Become a Premier Club member today at timbercreekgc.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports 1140. Ivan Lopez. It's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Bottom of the hour, Magnus for Magnuson, 4-time world's strongest man competition going on right now in Old Town. So we got him coming up. We got Charles Haley a little after 5. And we'll get to the Kings and the whole tanking question, which Jay and I dealt with quite a bit yesterday. Before we do, we're just talking about fruits, ice creams. What's your go-to donut, Drapes? Because we got some donuts here. They've been here a while. I don't know that we're going to sample them, but.
So I'm a vanilla ice cream guy.
Yeah.
What do you think donut-wise?
Chocolate donut. Glaze.
I'm going to say glaze. I'm going to say simple glaze, right? Yeah. Donut hole.
Dude, I keep it simple, baby. Pop them things in. It used to be vanilla cream, like, with the powdered sugar on it. And vanilla, But, that's too sweet. So, it's too much. So it's just glaze. That's all
Glazed
I need.
donuts?
Yeah.
And you know what? Drake's type of cat, he just eating brand.
Yeah.
Just brand.
Get a snack. Get a piece of bread, put some butter on it. Look out.
I do that sometimes.
Poppy seed. Just eat.
What's wrong with glazed donuts?
Nothing, man. Actually,
What's wrong with Poppy seed and Raisin Bran muffins?
Here you go. I knew Ramsey was. How about you, man? What do you did you have donut night in the house?
I like the maple old fashioned donut to me.
That's a little. Y'all too exotic, man. I keep it simple.
My favorite donut.
I'm trying to
It's the
simplify
best.
things in my life. Vanilla, glaze, basic. Call me Basic Drake. That's all. I'm okay with that because the rest of my life is so chaotic.
Right, I'm about to say.
You like the Krispy Kreme?
Yeah, it's solid. It's solid. I think it's a little overrated.
It's
but
super sweet.
Yeah, that's super sweet.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Jay? You a donut guy or you?
Yeah, it's all right. It's one of them things where you kind of got to have a taste for it. If it steers, like, okay, but I'm not going out my way to get a donut.
Let me ask you this question.
Not at all.
Because I have an issue. And I know we're going to get to sports right here. I know you got the rundown. Hold up, big fella. Hold up here. Because I'm the one
that brought up the donuts. I brought it up.
You did. You started this. Yeah, you're right. I don't want to say I'm a donut snob, but what do you think? I don't trust all donut places.
Okay, I can get
you
that.
See what I mean?
They are a little
like just the way. They don't have much curb appeal. Their curb appeal ain't inviting.
I was going to say,
am I the only one? Or
hole in the wall.
Yeah,
donuts seem like they're more hole in the wall. Mom
I
and pop.
think that, but when I see the display case and the donuts, that all goes away.
That's
one of those. Give me a dozen. 3 of those.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm saying I don't even.
so good.
But I'll be honest. Those hole in the walls, from what I hear,
those
might be the best ones.
They are.
But their curb appeal is not inviting.
So where you
They're
going?
not Voodoo Donuts or all these big bad donuts and
That's
all
in
that.
Portland, right?
Yeah, Voodoo Donuts.
I've only heard of
it's
it.
like
I've never
that.
been
Yeah,
there.
it's just,
So where do you go? You getting your donuts from Safeway or something? Where you get your
I lived
donuts
in Boston
from?
for 11 years.
Okay, all right. Well,
There's a
we know
Dunkin'
where you go,
Donuts
Dunkin'
out
Donuts.
there. There's a
Every
Dunkin' Donuts
corner.
out there.
Yeah.
In Folsom, I go to
Dunkin'
right on
Donuts-
the Folsom line.
I'm gonna say this right now. You hear me? Dunkin' Donuts is overrated. Overrated.
How can a donut place be
that
overrated?
potential,
Overrated.
Potential endorsement list.
I know, right? Dunkin' Donuts.
There's other ones on the list.
Jay.
That's
Rainbow
okay.
one in California. No, there's a few.
It's like 3, I think.
Yeah, there's
there.
a few of
But
them.
tell me, what is the best donut place in Sacramento? I know the ice cream. We done talked about that. Where do I get good, fresh, nice donuts?
Look to your
Most
left,
people probably
Drapes,
say
in that
where
box.
that came from, which
Oh,
is
this spot
Maria's.
right here?
Maria's, yeah, it's on Freeport.
Yeah, Marie's is fires.
Yeah,
Donuts.
it's been a staple for a long time.
I ain't going out to Freeport.
Well, it ain't my fault. You stay in Shingle Springs. I keep saying that.
You didn't say what's the best donut place within a block of my house.
Yeah.
Marie.
Yeah,
Marie's,
Marie's.
okay. All right, I'm gonna have to
It's
check
a
that
staple
out.
of Sacramento on Freeport.
Okay.
Yum Yum, you know,
I ain't never
been
been
around.
around. But curb appeal, Jay.
It's cool.
It's cool. Where's that at? Where's that at?
12th Ave. 12th Ave in Franklin.
All right, I'm gonna check it
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yum Yum.
Yum Yum. Come on, man.
Isn't Freeport where don't they have the bakery? Freeport?
Correct.
Bakery? Yeah.
Yes, right next to
yeah,
it,
yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Marie's. I like calling Maria's. Maria's is right next to it.
They got amazing stuff.
I'm
there.
a
Right on
Clachy.
Freeport. Okay,
Yeah,
over there. Okay.
Over there. Yeah, the bakery's got killer cakes. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's
Really?
tremendous.
Incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Yum Yum.
good.
Yum Yum?
No. This is a separate
A different
spot.
spot?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
separate spot.
All right. Okay. All right.
And I'll tell you this, with Marie's, you got to roll up on Marie's at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night when they freshly make the donuts. That's the best, for me, that's the best time to get them.
You know what my problem is, fellas?
Or mom and pop, though.
I just realized it. Living out in Folsom,
Ain't nothing, Drapes.
I'm too
Yes.
Isolated.
chain
Yeah.
restaurants.
You are
and
very
stuff
much
like
so
that.
out there,
I'm
yes.
too,
Yeah.
we ain't got no mom. I mean, we got a couple spots, but I need to get,
You're very much in the area of
like
business parks and chains.
Yeah.
Jamba Juice
Right,
/ Crumble
right,
/
right.
Yeah, you're definitely.
Yeah, no offense
Shouts
to
out to
those, but it
Crumble.
ain't
Yeah,
no
for sure.
soul in there. There ain't no, love. Like, I don't know. It's different.
Well,
It's
I
different.
get what you're saying.
You
It's
see
just
what I mean?
more it's not private. It's not mom and pop. It's
Yeah.
not, hole in the wall, so to say.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
I
yeah.
need to, okay.
Marie's, by the way, getting real good
Oh,
response.
yeah,
here
they
in the
they're
chat.
staple.
People
Sacramento.
loving that.
Yeah, they're
I
staple.
got to add it to the
But
list.
donuts really are. It's kind of more your local neighborhood donut shop. Like Superior grew the same thing on Franklin. They're like it just kind of. I don't even know
I
the
just
one
gotta
that's by
find the
my house
local
on
spot.
Truxell. Yeah, I'd stop by there here and there every blue moon, and it's good. Truxell and San Juan. I can't remember what the name of it is, but they're good in there. Shouts out to that family who owns that shop. So for me, donuts, it's just kind of one of them things that's local.
Yeah, there's one kind of in our area called Richard's Donuts.
Okay.
And
That's
I
pretty
go
good.
there all the time. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I
Great,
got
man.
to, it's and I'm failing my kids as a dad
You are.
because they're always growing up in Boston. It's like, let's go to Dunkin' Donuts, Dad. Okay. I need to be like, nah, kids, let's go to Yum Yum. Let's try Yum Yum
yeah.
or Marie's or something like that. Real quick from the 916. The more dangerous the donut shop looks like from the outside, the better.
I'm with that.
I might agree with that.
All right,
that's when
good
you
to know.
eat. That's when you get the croissant, the ham and cheese croissant. You know, you get all those things.
okay.
Absolutely.
All right,
Plus,
okay.
you could have, a terrible smell. You could have bats hanging from the ceiling, raw meat, but you put them in that pink box like, great. I'll see you. Thank you.
That's
Thank
the move
you.
then. That's the move.
Yeah. Real quick here, Drapes. Yesterday, Jay and I we actually had Dave on.
I heard about this. Things got a little heated from what I heard.
We were talking about this whole, do the Kings need to tank? Do they not? Is there an in-between? And, a lot of fans were getting agitated, not about the conversation, but just the whole general feel of things. So I decided to go back and look at the teams that are in the playoffs currently.
Yes.
How many of them tanked at some point to get here? And I wasn't trying to prove anything. I didn't have, an idea going in, but I just was wondering what I would find. And it's kind of interesting. It also comes down to, as we were saying yesterday, Jay, it's also, what is your definition of tanking? Because Jay could say, oh, yeah, I like tanking, and that's this. And I said, well, I do that, but that's not tanking. But anyway, here's what I found, and we'll take a little break here in between. But the Pacers, going back to 2014, this is their win totals, 56, 38, 45, 42, 48, 48, 45. And then in 21 through 23, they went 34, 25 wins, and then 35 wins, which I think is when they made the Sabonis trade. And then they got back to 47 last year, and then this year they're back on track. So they had 3 years in there, 34, 25, 35. Is that tanking? That kind of helped them reset. But is that tanking? Denver, we talked earlier about how they've won 40 games or more every year since 2017. They had a little 3-year stretch there, 2014, 15, 16. They won 36, 30, and 33. They got Jokic there. They got Murray, and they reset there. So
where was Murray drafted? Do you know offhand? I'm just asking.
16, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So not a top 5 or 7 or anything like that.
He
like
was
their core, they got.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was pretty high up, but they had that 3-year stretch where it's only 36, 30, 33 wins. Then they were off and running from there.
7th pick, Jamal Murray. 7th overall. There you go.
OKC, you go back to like when they had Durant, they were 55, 47, 48, 49, 44. Then they made the trade. They got Shea. They had those 2 rough years, 22 wins, 24 wins. Then they were back to 40. Then last year, 57. And now here they are. So they just had that 2-year stretch, 22 wins, 24 wins. Is that tanking? I mean, that was their rough patch. The Knicks were dreadful for a long time. And I don't know if they were tanking or they're just horrible. And then Boston, the fewest wins in a season since 2008. They were 25 and 57 in 2014.
That was 1 year.
That's the only year since 08 that they haven't been in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you look at that, I don't know. All those teams other than Boston, they have had at least a 2-year stretch in OKC's case where they've been like kind of repositioning and not winning many games. But I don't know. Is that tanking? Is that just a retooling? I don't know.
We're going to take a break. I got some thoughts on that.
All right.
I got some thoughts.
We'll come right back with more on that. Also, Magnus for Magnuson, bottom of the hour, Drive Guy, Sacktown Sports.
There are so many benefits of working with the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento. Now, we chose them to get our new garage doors, and we're so thrilled that we did. They look absolutely amazing. Jason Ross here. And for us, well, we just flat out needed new garage doors. But maybe you do as well, or maybe it's just repairs to your existing doors. Well, the Overhead Door Company of Sacramento can help you with that. It is also a great time of year because this is when homes go on the market. So is yours ready? Well, one thing, don't forget about that garage door because a new garage door can increase the value of your home. First off, with Curb Appeal, a new modern or stylish garage door can improve the overall appearance of your house. Also, the return on investment. It is one of the most cost-effective upgrades to increase your home value. You can see for yourself. Just visit the showroom on Franklin Boulevard and ask about the Sacktown Sports Special. Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the genuine, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Magnus Vermagnuson was going to join us. We'll see.
Yeah, we may have to slide him back a little bit.
We'll see.
Yeah, it'll be 5:30 now.
Yeah, 5:30.
5:30. My
All right.
apologies. It
No,
came
that's
on
all right.
right as we were. Same situation. So we're doing a show right on air, fellas. How
Yeah.
about we Charles Haley at 5 and Magnus at 5:30? Does that work for you, Mr. Gleason?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. You scared me. I'm saying you.
I know.
That brings me a flashback. Last week when I was saying something about Drapes going to visit his mom, and he's like,
Oh yeah, he almost gave it away.
Yeah.
How was mom's? Was she surprised?
Yo, oh my gosh, she was surprised.
Okay.
Dude, I should have posted
So
the
Mr.
video.
Gleason didn't give it away.
No,
Woo.
yeah,
There
she
you
had
go.
no idea.
Thank goodness. All right, here's the dang deal. Do the Kings need to tank? A lot of people feel that way. So I just went and looked at the teams that are in the playoffs currently. Did they tank to get where they are now? It's kind of a mixed bag. Indiana had a 3-year stretch, 21-23, where they won 34 games, 25 and 35. Denver, you got to go all the way back to the 14, 15, 16 seasons. They won 36 games, 30 and 33. They got Jokic in there. They got Jamal Murray, and then they were on their way from there. They've had a ton of success since then. OKC had 2 years, 21 and 22. They won 22 games and 24. Then they were on their way. The Knicks were awful from 2014 through 2021. But I don't know if they were tanking or just bad. They've been better since then. And then Boston had, since 2008, they've had one bad year where they missed the playoffs. They won 25 games in 2014. And other than that, they've been a really good team. So they did not tank. So I don't know if we have an answer here, Drapes. Well, what do you think? Does this tell us anything about whether the Kings should or should not tank to get to where they want to get to?
What I'm hearing, though, Whitey, is, in my view, those teams did not tank.
Mm-hmm.
Those teams took advantage of the opportunities that presented itself. Let's start with Boston.
Yes.
Brooklyn was desperate. They wanted KG and Pierce. Okay, sure. That's not a tank. That's making a trade, getting some young picks. That's not saying, all right, the next 5 years, we're going to not be good. We're going to just play young guys. No, Boston didn't do that.
That's what tanking is to me, the way
Yeah,
you
that's
just
what-
described
yeah.
it. Like, we're going to spend at least 3 years not trying to win.
Right. What Utah is doing right now.
Yeah.
You know, so to me, Boston didn't tank. Denver, I don't think they tanked because they got the picks right that they had.
Mhm.
It wasn't a coordinated, we're going to rest our guys, we're going to sit out guys, load management. We're not going to try this season.
Mm-hmm.
It's they drafted well with Jamal Murray and they hit on Jokic. Bam. Pacers, same thing. They were just bad. It wasn't like they said, we're going to clear the shelves, clear the deck, get as bad as we possibly can. And I could even argue OKC didn't tank. What OKC did was traded Paul George for a young potential star in SGA and draft picks. They didn't bottom out and say, we want our picks to be the worst they are, because you had the Clippers pick. Like, they were building. And so I don't look at any of the Minnesota, same thing. And somebody pointed out online, I was reading the story, you could argue Minnesota, the two players that they did so-called tank for the number one picks, Wiggins, Karl Anthony Towns, ain't even on the roster anymore.
Yeah.
So it didn't really, they didn't get that franchise guy that took them to the promised land. And so, and Anthony Edwards, they were just bad.
Mhm.
It wasn't, like, to me, tanking is what Brooklyn's doing right now.
Yeah, and I
what
apologize.
Philly
I didn't
did.
even have Minnesota in here. I apologize. Should have. Yeah.
Brooklyn, Philly this year, basically, Utah, Charlotte, it seems like tanks forever, and maybe it's bad luck. That to me is tanking. Those teams that we just talked about took advantage of the opportunities that presented themselves, and they made some shrewd moves that paid off.
The one that's really interesting to me, because I think it applies to the Kings more than the others, perhaps, is the Pacers, because they had a stretch where they won 45, 42, 48, 48, 45 games. And I think might have been every one of those years, maybe it was only 4, they were out in the first round. So they were like, good playoff team, but out in the first round. And they decided that's not it anymore. And it took them 3 years to get back on track. And then they made the Halliburton trade. And look, here they are. It has worked. So my thing is, if you do the total teardown tank, and again, I see it the same way you do, you're just waving a white flag for at least 3 years. There's no guarantee you're going to get back to where you want to get to anytime soon. And I think with the assets the Kings have, I think a more prudent, doing that more slowly, I think makes more sense. And maybe you do move a piece, maybe 2 this year in order to start replenishing and getting younger. But I just think that makes a lot more sense than going, yeah, we're done. We're out for the next 3 years.
Right. And
at least.
Because the thing, with the Utah Jazz, they're like the kings of tanking right now. Like they've mastered tanking the last 3 years. First year without Donovan Mitchell and after trading Rudy Gobert, 37 wins. Then 31. Then 17. And guess what, Whitey? They still haven't gotten a number 1 pick. This year, they had the worst record. It didn't matter.
Right.
The
lottery is not very conducive to the total tank jobs these days.
It really isn't. If I'm Scott Perry, if I'm Kings brass, I'm looking at what we have, our assets, whether it's draft or players, and seeing how strategic can we be. Because you mentioned the Pacers and, the similarity there. Well, the Pacers, it can be argued that was a shrewd move they made to get Tyrese Halliburton. And they found their franchise guy.
Yes.
We have to somehow do a shrewd move to find our franchise guy.
That's it. I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You have to find your guy. We've talked about that before. Denver did. OKC did.
Yep.
They kind of did before they went into tank mode with the trade.
Yep.
Indiana did. That's what it's all about. Tanking, it's just about trying to find your guy. And once you get your guy, you can start building it back up.
Exactly.
But there's other ways to get your guy.
Yeah, there's other ways to get your guy. And, and I know other teams have tanked Detroit and they finally, Houston, some say as well, but I don't think Detroit tanked in terms of we're going to sell off all of our good players. I just think they didn't have good players.
They tried to be better sooner.
Yeah, they tried to, and it took a while.
They gave,
who they pay?
They gave the coach Monty Williams all the money,
Monty,
right?
yeah.
Give all that money, and it's like, it didn't work.
Exactly. And so if I'm the Kings, and we did this exercise the other day on the D list, is there a young potential star that you can strike and get? If not, you try to build through the draft. You don't have to have a top 2 pick, 3 pick. Look at Dallas. Dallas didn't tank this year, Whitey. They got the number 1 overall pick. There's other ways to get it done.
Yeah. B Deets 916. What teams got fined for sitting players? Wonder where they ended up in the end. Well, I know Dallas got fined for that, and then they ended up getting Derek Lively, and so it worked for them. Utah, it hasn't worked for them, at least not yet.
Right. And here's the thing, though, regarding Derek Lively, good player, but is he a franchise guy? He's good,
but he was probably better than getting knocked out of the playoffs early that year.
Right.
Yeah.
But, Utah this year, who knows what they'll get? I think they're 6, or something like that.
I think they're at 5.
5? Yeah. Well, we'll see what they get and see if it works. But there is a path where you can be decent, good, and still get a very good player in the draft. Here's the thing, Whitey. Let's say you're the Kings next year. You compete hard, play your guys, wind up with the 13th overall pick. Don't make the playoffs. But you didn't tank. But you still could get a star player at 13. Look at the recent number 12 draft picks. Have you seen that?
No.
Recently? Tyrese Halliburton is one of them. I believe Shea is one of them. And so what I'm saying is, there are picks there outside of the number 1. Here it is. I got it right here. Come on now. Come on, Whitey. Listen to this. Your boy Lively that you just mentioned. J-Dub, Jalen Williams. Tyrese Halliburton. P.J. Washington. Good player.
Yeah.
Can't argue with P.J. Miles Bridges is actually a good player despite his off-court issues out there. Steven Adams was a number 12 overall pick. So what I'm saying is there are guys to be had at 12, 16, 18, 20, 41 like Jokic. You just got to get it right when you do get it.
That tells me 2 things. 1, I don't want to tear it completely down this year, but 2, I do want to trade back into the first round if I can. I want to start replenishing with youth. if I can.
Yes.
As soon as
Yes.
possible.
I'm with you on that, man. I think, Shea was the 11th pick, excuse me. But
Close enough.
But even 11th pick, you get the 11th pick, that's not tanking. But you could get a guy like Devin Vassell, SGA, Malik Monk, Domantas Sabonis, Miles Turner, Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson's a Hall of Famer.
He probably should have gone earlier, but
Should have gone earlier, yeah. But these are Hall of Famers we're talking about,
Mhm.
or Klay Thompson anyway is. And so I don't think Sacramento's ready for 3-4 years of 15 wins, 17 wins.
I think we all agree that Kings need to do something to kind of refresh the roster and start heading in a slightly different direction. But I don't agree that the total tear it down and start over. I don't think that's the most prudent way to do it.
Right.
You're
Now-
just driving fans away for an extended period.
Now, if you could guarantee me at the end 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is, we got 2 all-stars, too young to okay, but there's no guarantee. I mean, Sixers tanked for how many years and struck out? Markelle Fultz, Michael Carter-Williams, Jahlil Okafor. The list goes on, and they didn't hit on those guys. And so it's almost like karma, man. I don't know if I even want to do that. And considering that Jay always brings this up, and I know it's a new regime, but our draft history when we have had the opportunity to get a lottery pick hasn't been great.
I don't care if you've won a championship recently or you haven't or you're terrible. If you're going to move your assets, you have to get something close to value for them or you're mismanaging your asset. So if the Kings are like, we're going to tank, we just got to get rid of everybody. Well, everybody knows you're going to trying to get rid of these guys. You're not going to get value.
Yeah.
Then to trade them when you're not getting value back, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Right.
And
right.
if you commit to tanking, I think you kind of have to do that. And I don't see what you're gaining.
In those scenarios you brought up, I'm going to throw Boston, OKC, even Utah. Other teams overvalued the players that they were acquiring.
Mm-hmm.
Clippers overvalued Paul George, even though they had to do it to get Kawhi. But they gave up too much. Hell, look at Brooklyn. The Knicks overvalued and overpaid for Mikal Bridges. The Nets overvalued and overpaid for Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. Is there a team that's willing to overpay for some of our guys? That's the question.
Mm-hmm. Here's, by the way, as far as Minnesota goes, they've kind of been all over the place. And again, I think with Minnesota, is it tanking or just being bad?
Just being bad. Yeah.
2015, they won 16, then they won 29, then they won 31. Then they won 47 with Tibbs. They were out in the first round, then 36, then 19, 23. And then that's when they started kind of 2022, 46 wins, 42, and then 56. So they've kind of been, I don't think there's really commitment to tanking in there. It's just kind of been, they've been trying to figure it out and they haven't done a very good job.
I think they've been sort of like the Kings have been in terms of you've been bad. You've had lottery picks. You just haven't hit on them.
Yeah.
And, for Minnesota until recently, I don't think it was a coordinated tank effort like we've been saying.
I think you could argue that they tanked and it didn't work because they got Wiggins, they got Karl Anthony Towns, and they added Zach LaVine. They had good players, but they didn't ever really do much.
Mm-hmm.
They won 47 one year, then they were back to 36, 19, and 23.
Yeah.
So that's an example of we tanked, we got some good players, but
we still didn't. Yeah, it still didn't work.
Yeah.
And think of real quick about all those players, very good players.
Right.
But none of them is the guy.
Right.
None of them is MVP, until Ant Edwards maybe, now.
Yep.
So
Yep. Conversation continues also more on Brock Purdy's new deal next. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by San Francisco 49ers.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Mostly clear skies tonight, turning mostly cloudy overnight. We will see some clearing for your Saturday with a few clouds popping up in the afternoon. Temperature starting off in the 50s will warm into the upper 70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
San Francisco 49ers 2025 single game tickets are now on sale. Join the faithful at Levi Stadium. Secure your seats today at 49ers.com/tickets. That's 49ers.com/tickets. SuperTalk.com/tickets.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou, a term provider, 800-568-2790. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-568-2790. That's 800-568-2790. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-568-2790.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Trey Songz, live. All the hits, all in one night. Trey Songz. Friday, June 20th, the venue at Thunder Valley. With special guest, Jeremiah. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com and see the show. Trey Songz, Friday, June 20th, the venue at Thunder Valley.
Hello, I'm Frank Cock with Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. Trade deals done with China and the UK. This means the trade war and its effects are over, correct? Not so fast, according to the Yale Budget Lab, who estimated that $4,900 purchasing power reduction could lower to $2,800 annually. Many of the tariffs have been delayed, watered down, or removed, but the tariffs have already hit supply chains and forced corporations to rethink their strategies. Ultimately, economists believe that consumers will still see higher prices in many areas. The S&P 500 hit a technical level, its 200-day moving average. When this level gets reached, it can be a major technical buy signal. Each time the market has hit these levels, the rallies continued, reaching new highs. The index has historically gained 8.6% on average over the 12 months following the achievement. The VIX, or the fear index, has also dropped from 50 in early April to a measure of 18 now. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic Wealth. Member FINRA SIPC. Osaic Wealth is separately owned, and or other entities and or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Cleveland is the city where we come from, so run. Cleveland is the city where we come from, so run. Cleveland is the city where we come from, so run.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
On the text line here, wow, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Please bring back Dave Carmichael's opinions from yesterday. He had figured it out. Yeah.
How was he? I didn't get to hear yesterday.
He was. I'll tell you exactly what happened. You know, Jay and I were talking about something that I'd heard Dave say. Actually, I heard Alan say. Dave says the Kings have the worst situation in the league. So we started talking about that, and Jay, to his credit, says that doesn't sound like something Dave would say. So we texted Dave, and Dave's like, "Yeah, I didn't say that." So I said, "Well, we come on and we'll talk about it." And so he was saying he thought they might have the worst situation in the West without saying it. You know, he was, "I'm just asking." And then he took the whole conversation went to, look, the real problem is ownership. And so then it was like, ooh, okay, we're talking about that.
Ooh.
So yeah, but he was basically saying that the Kings need to tear it all down, trade everybody, and start over. He says that's what they need to do. And that's one of the reasons we followed up with this deal we just looked at a few moments ago. So I don't think, well, I know it's not the only way, and in my opinion, it's not the best way. So that's we're just piggybacking on that today. And I want to get Drape's thoughts on that too.
You know,
you don't need to say anything about what he said yesterday.
I
just want,
Okay.
Tank or not tank. That's all. I was wondering how you feel about
I'm definitely anti-tank. I don't think, you know, this organization in this city is ready for what could potentially be another dark age. There's no guarantee tanking it works. If I'm Scott Perry, if I'm, you know, the brass over there, BJ Armstrong, I'm gauging the value of our players. And is there anything where we can get a young asset back in return? I mentioned top 5 or 6 on the D list.
Mm-hmm.
Scoot Henderson was one of them. Somebody like that. Brandon Miller, somebody like that. And some picks maybe. Like, to me, tanking involves tearing it down and trying your luck in the draft with your own draft pick, mind you, or, you know, because any team you trade with, let's say we send a player to OKC. That ain't no lottery pick we getting back, Whitey.
I know.
That ain't no, let's say we send a player to even Orlando. That ain't no lottery pick.
Yeah.
And so
that's why that pick swap with the Spurs is looking now kind of,
I know,
fingers crossed.
Right?
Yeah.
If this was 2-3 years ago,
yeah,
if we, you know, we could swap with them, that'd be great, but not now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm anti-tanking. You know, I'm hanging out outside Doco, just seeing how that's grown over the years from the very first time I came here as a member of the Boston Celtics when we play, how downtown is growing. And now you want to take the main tenant downtown and make it basically irrelevant in the city. I can't do that.
Tanking is you don't want to win for an extended period.
Right.
The players are trying to win, coaches are trying to win, but as an organization, you're trying to put a team on the court that will not win many games.
Right.
That's tanking over an extended period.
And Whitey, I'm going to call it like I see it. What Utah did this year, especially, was ridiculous. Guys were healthy.
Yeah.
Guys were healthy scratches. Like, is that what we want?
No.
You know, is that we want our best players sitting in there in street clothes when we got these fans paying their hard-earned money? No, that's not the way to go about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so Danny Ainge is my guy. Y'all know that. But karma came back to bite him because the way he did it, that's dirty. You ain't supposed to do it like that.
Mm-hmm. Coming up a little bit, about 10 minutes, Magnus Magnuson. Before we get to that, I want to do a little football deal here. Look at the rule changes NFL teams are voting on next week. There's 3 main ones, and I think we can just, the 3 of us here, sorry, Ramsey, but we need an uneven number. We'll settle these things now. We'll vote on them now, right?
We're going to vote on the rule changes?
We don't have to spend a lot of...
Tush push ain't part of it, right?
Tush push is the third one.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
For it. You know
so one of them
at.
is, this is the Lions proposal, and they're talking about it, let's see, next week. They want to change the seeding for the playoffs. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, if you win a division, and then the rest of it, wild cards, they want it to be based on record, whether you win your division or not. So if you win your division, but you're 9-8, you're not going to be a top 4 automatically. You'll be 7. Also, after the first round of the playoffs, you reseed everything. Are you in favor of that or not? I'm in favor.
I'm in favor of that.
I'm out.
Really?
Keep it the same.
Tell me why.
I guess it's just being a traditionalist, nothing more than that. I'd rather even if you are 9-8 and you win your division and you probably aren't a top 2 2 or 3 or 4, obviously, top 4 team, I still would rather let you get the 4th or 3rd spot over someone that, is a wild card and have
You
more
want to reward
games.
someone for winning.
Yeah,
your
just
division.
division. Yeah. Traditionalist.
And I push back on that. The team with the better record should not have to go on the road. To me,
Understandable.
that's
But see, to me, it makes it more exciting as a fan. It's more entertaining, and it also allows for matchups that you don't normally see. And I know that NFL, you play everybody every 4 years and all that good jazz. But I like seeing the 49ers take on Tampa. I like to see the 49ers play Minnesota. Things like that.
Okay.
Traditionalist, nothing more than that.
Unfortunately, the motion is passed.
I got you.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I lost.
Second one is, I don't know all the details, but the proposal is onside kicks. I want to make it so you can call for an onside kick whenever you want. You don't have to wait till the last 2 minutes of a half.
Yeah, take it back again. Traditionalists.
Yeah.
Be able to do. You shouldn't even have to call for an onside kick. Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the point of the onside kick, the element of surprise.
Correct.
Yes.
That's the exciting part about it.
Now, I'm not sure. I think with the goofy kickoff rules, you would still have to declare it.
Right.
You can now do it whenever you want, but I think you still have to say,
Go ahead.
hey, onside
guys,
kick.
we're about to do this. Yeah.
So they still need to do some work there, but that's still better than the way it is.
Commissioner, can we take that rule back too? Don't have to declare it.
We should.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You're right. What's the whole point of an onside kick? If we're going to onside kick.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a suicide squeeze. Right?
Right?
Hey, third baseman, suicide squeeze coming
About
up.
to lay it down.
And then third and finally, this is from the Packers proposal. Proposal says an
They got
offensive
waxed
player.
this last year.
We were just voting on it.
All right.
Owner of the Philadelphia Eagles. Proposal says an offensive player can't immediately at the snap push or throw his body against a teammate who was lined up directly behind the snapper and received the snap to aid him in an attempt to gain yardage. That is the proposal. Coaches asked for more clarity with the original writing of the rule, and so there are some questions about it, but that's what they're going to be voting on, outlawing pushing or throwing a body against a teammate who was lined up directly behind the snapper receiving the snap. Philadelphia, how do you vote on this?
I'm voting that down. I'm not even involving any discussion on that. That's in response to us whipping them up in the playoffs this year. If I'm at the governor's meeting, that's what I'm saying. So no, it's because first of all, anytime you got to explain it like that,
that's a lot. That's a lot.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Stop shooting.
Mike Vrabel asked whether the quarterback could be pushed behind the guard. Jim Harbaugh asked whether the guards could be pushed by extra linemen on the field to create a similar effect to the quarterback being pushed. How about you, San Francisco?
Yeah, you already know. This may surprise you. Keep the tush push.
Really?
Yeah, keep it. It's part of the game now. I even go back to Notre Dame, USC, where Notre Dame fans are crying. You got your butt beat. It's okay. You lost.
Yeah. My vote is irrelevant then.
I
you
don't want the tush push part of the game?
It's irrelevant.
It's a bit right here.
Really?
He's trying to provide entertainment right here. I see how it is.
I did like it when you couldn't push anybody in.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like football better when you can, and not just the Eagles, but the Eagles are taking advantage of the rules as it's written. I
They
liked
are.
it when you couldn't. I remember William Refrigerator Perry
Perry.
shoving somebody in the end zone once. It's like, that's a flag. You can't do that.
Yeah. I'll say this real fast.
I'm
to
going
us.
like you're old school on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
In response to that, they should open it up to where linebackers can fly over the line, the offensive line. Like, if you're going to say this is legal, you have to allow me to try and stop it.
Right.
You should allow guys to start jumping over line and things like that to try to defend it.
Yeah.
Just me.
All right. So that's voted down. So playoff reseeding carried, onside kicks carried, tush push is sticking around. Yeah.
Another Super Bowl. Here
That was
we go.
easy. Yeah.
And y'all going 8-9.
Drapes is excited though.
Yes.
Yeah, he's not crazy about the Brock Purdy deal, but Magnus, why is this your guy?
Dude, just a guy I used to watch growing up. Like I know who he is. I told my kids about him 6 months ago, and they thought I was joking. Like, Matt, is that a real name? Yes, that's my guy.
Jay insisted that he change around his schedule so he could talk to you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So we got him next on Sacktown Sports.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code DRIVER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code DRIVER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code DRIVER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See for full details and disclaimer.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, I hear Staples prints it all.
Oh, you bet. Posters, banners.
Can you print it all for Father's Day?
Oh, of course. Photo gifts like canvas prints, photo puzzles.
Can you print it all for graduation?
Sure can. Custom cards and invites.
Can you print a huge banner with the grad's picture?
Oh, definitely.
Even an embarrassing baby picture?
Oh, those are the best kind.
I know.
Print it all, Dad's grad. Right. Live exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
San Francisco!
What a laser from Brock Purdy, and what a catch.
San Francisco 49ers single game tickets are available now.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Fred gets up and runs back the other way. One block and he's in. Gonna throw left for the end zone. It's caught by George Kittle.
Secure your seats at 49ers.com/tickets.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
We're excited because it's Friday, but Kyle Draper is very excited for more reasons than that. You know, we got the World's Strongest Man going on today through Sunday, Old Town Sacramento Railroad Museum, which gives them a chance to pull trains and stuff, I would think.
Yeah. Gotta get out
locomotives. Yes. So tell us why you're so excited here, Drapes.
No, because, we had talked about the World's Strongest Man competition coming to Sacramento a couple of months ago. And when I hear that, I only think of one person. This is a guy growing up I was very much aware of, saw him on TV, saw him carrying the big boulder or pulling the car, the truck. Magnus Ver Magnuson, who is in town right now for the World's Strongest Man competition as the referee. And he's joining us here on The Drive, guys. So I had to be a part of this, Whitey.
Magnus, thank you for your time, sir. How's everything going there in Old Town Sacramento?
Oh, it's been interesting 2 days. A lot of excitement, a lot of great performances. And as always, I'm just privileged to still be a part of this sport.
Yeah, Magnus Ver Magnusson, 4-time world's strongest man. The list of records, Magnus, if we went through all the records you have, we wouldn't have time to complete it before the show was over. Can I ask which of all the records you've established, which are you most proud of?
Well, when I got an invite to World's Strongest Man, I was invited to become as the equipment tester. So I was a reserve.
Mm-hmm.
And I got called in kind of on the last minute to compete. And I won it first time I entered it. So that's never been repeated.
Our guy Magnus Ver Magnusson joining us. Some consider the greatest world's strongest man competitor. Magnus, I mentioned seeing you, lift huge boulders, pull cars and everything. What's the, I guess, most random thing in competition you've lifted in your career?
Well, I've pulled the biggest dump truck in the world.
Okay.
I've pulled the Bounty in Sydney Harbor.
Oh, the boat?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
And I've just lifted a lot of things, pulled trains and all sorts of crazy stuff. One of the greatest things with strongman is the challenges. It's not like going to the gym or going to a powerlifting show when you know exactly what you're up against. You're up against these weird things sometimes, and so every new event is a new challenge. It's like, especially over here, we just finished the nature stones medley. So you have to press a stone overhead and a stone to shoulder, carry a stone, and load a stone. And every stone is a different challenge because it's nature stones. They also do a lot of like what we call the Atlas stones, which is just a round stones, big stones, which is kind of like lifting giant bowling balls. But I like the nature stones and just pressing a stone overhead to me is like the ultimate thing. It's kind of old fashioned, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's Magnus Ver Magnusson, 4-time world's strongest man competition going on through Sunday at the Railroad Museum. How important is it to be when you're a competitor to strengthen your mind as much as you strengthen your body?
Well, you gotta, first of all, you gotta believe that you can do it. Like I said, I've gone to do something or pull something that I thought, a lot of people would think was, you couldn't do it or nobody could ever do it. But you got to believe that you can do it. And, you got to convince yourself you can do it. And I believe you can achieve anything if you can convince yourself you can do it. And if you're ready to work hard enough for it.
Magnus, obviously you've had an illustrious career and you talked about how, you got into World's Strongest Man competition. But what inspired you to take this path, even before then? What inspired you to say, you know what? I'm super strong. I'm going to work at this and make this an actual career.
Well, actually, I was a powerlifter before. And I started doing some strongman on the side. And I was just enjoying it more. It was more fun. It was more challenging. And I was European champion lifter when I won my first World's Strongest Man. Because I won the European Championships by a mile.
Was there an age at which you realized you were stronger than everybody else, or did you just make yourself stronger than everybody else?
I was always pretty strong, growing up, and and athletic. Yeah, I did a lot of sports: shot putting, discus throwing, basketball, what we call handball, soccer.
Yeah,
all sorts of things. But when I started lifting weights and lifting stuff, it just appealed to me. It's just something that in my nature. And unfortunately, I'm just getting too old. I can't do the things I used to be.
Magnus, I view you as the GOAT of the world's strongest man of powerlifting and of that. We hear so much about LeBron and Jordan in basketball. Who do you consider the GOAT when it comes to world's strongest man?
Still today, I consider Zydrunas Savickas as the greatest strongman ever. That's in my opinion. You know, if I can't vote for myself.
Right. Smart answer.
We won't tell anybody. Right? Yeah, you can. You can. Drape's voting for you.
But he's the one of the most decorated strongman ever. He's won everything there is to win. And when I was doing it, it wasn't as many opportunities, wasn't as many competitions. But these guys now have way more opportunities. Sponsorship is better. Prize money is better. And that's one of the things that I was involved with paving the way for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Magnus Fair Magnuson, as we said, 4-time world's strongest man. He's been on Comedy Central. He's been on TV commercials, and he's an official at the World's Strongest Man competition in Old Town through the weekend. Can I ask, sir, what do you miss the most about competing in these events?
The thrill of winning. It's that special feeling that is that high that you get from that, or even when you after a hard, good workout and you've done your personal best, you've achieved things, and it's just that fulfillment that you were going after that high, and when you get to the point that you kind of can't fulfill these things anymore, I just had to do that in another way. And it's been being in the sport, helping promote it, helping, make up new things to lift or pull, and the sport is still growing. We got weight classes, we got women doing this these days, and it's amazing.
Magnus, last one for me. Can you take me through training for World's Strongest Man? A lot of weightlifting, I would imagine. How about diet? Like, how do you prepare yourself for these kind of competitions?
Well, funny that you ask. Actually, in my case, I trained that much. Sometimes I trained up to 4 hours a day. I trained more than anybody else. And I had actually serious problems trying to put on weight. I got stronger, but it was just hard for me to put on weight. And actually still up to today is no problem for me to lose weight. My body, it just burns a lot of calories.
High metabolism.
Yeah.
Well, we very, very, very much appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us. So World's Strongest Man, again, through Sunday, Old Town, Sacramento, right by the Railroad Museum. And the greatest strongman of all time, Magnus Fair Magnuson, one of the officials.
Might be still a couple of tickets left.
Okay.
So if people want to come out, the final is now on Saturday and Sunday. And hey, come and watch these amazing athletes do what they do best.
Yes,
Kid friendly too, right, Magnus? Kid friendly out there, right?
All right.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
Yeah. Stay strong.
Yeah. Thank you. There you go, Drapes. Your guy.
Dude,
is he your guy?
Magnus is my guy. I'm sitting here, he's talking, I'm trying to focus, but I'm watching videos of him as a dude. One of the competitions in South Africa, he had to carry a Volkswagen Beetle. They cut out the middle, and he's in there carrying the Beetle.
Oh, so he's like inside,
just lifting it up like that. Unbelievable, man.
Campy says, I pulled a fully loaded Costco cart.
I'm sure. With a bunch of Kirkland golf balls in them. I'm sure, Campy. I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Very unique event returning to Sacramento this year. When we come back, how the you-know-who's, the Warriors, Could make a play for you-know-who, Giannis. Next on Sacktown Sports.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot, 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 and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See for full details and display.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Your next adventure is waiting at Sky River Casino with a $500,000 travel around the world giveaway. Get one free daily entry and 100 bonus entries every Monday and Tuesday. Earn more entries by playing slots and table games. Join us every Saturday, where you can pack your bags as our guaranteed $15,000 dream vacation winner. Visit skyriver.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older.
Memorial Day savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,500 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado Turbo Max in stock. And Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections of new Silverado in the Sacramento area. $12,500 off new Silverado. Exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Plus trade 2011 remaining. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
With so many ways to warm up before golf, a group of university researchers tried to cut through the clutter. 24 low handicap players were split into groups. The first group was instructed to hit 9 shots in a row with 4 different clubs that set targets. The second group also hit 36 shots, but in a random order. Maybe one shot with a driver, one with a 7-iron, another with a wedge, and so on. Then all the golfers from both groups hit 9 test shots that simulated the kind of shots they'd hit on the course. Results found that the group who practiced with randomized shots performed better than the first group. Well, that's one study, but it's probably important to note that rather than hit a bunch of shots with 3 clubs, you might be better off hitting different clubs to different distances. You'll have practice shots to different targets with different clubs, presumably just like you'll do on the golf course. Give it a try. What do you have to lose except a few shots on your scorecard? That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, coming up in about 10 minutes, Charles Haley, 5-time Super Bowl champion. Charles Haley is going to be part of the Dwight Clark Legacy Series on the 21st, so Wednesday. So we'll talk to Charles Haley in a little bit. Of course, the story that has set the National Football League on its ear today, Draves, Brock Purdy's got his deal. He signed that extension with the 49ers.
53
in the
per.
fold.
Yes.
In the fold.
Highest paid Niner ever.
And a bargain. A bargain at the price.
What's he? How do you think he's celebrating tonight? Going to Cracker Barrel or something like that? What do you think? You know, go buy some new Levi's or something like that. How's Brock celebrating today?
That's a good question,
right?
Probably getting his playbook out. You know,
right? Exactly.
Yeah,
got to get to work.
It's not a 5-year extension that kicks in come 2026. Remaining contract. $5.346 million in salary for 2025 gets torn up and replaced with a 6-year, $279.346 million contract. Yeah, that is wrong.
I'm like, what are you? What
this
date
is
is
old.
that?
I just saw the wrong thing here. Yeah, I apologize.
I was like, hold up, 6 years.
This is Mike Florio. I'm trying to get the details on Brock Purdy. Pardon me. If you
want me to pull it up here?
Yes, please.
Mr. Gleason, I got you
this is
here.
29 minutes ago. Boy, I got to take another look at that. That doesn't seem right. Yes, please.
Yeah,
please clarify.
all right. So here's what I got on Brock Purdy's extension here, new contract. 5-year, $265 million, $181 million in total guarantees. $165 million over the first 3 years of the contract. So that's
okay.
The boy Brock Purdy, right?
Yeah, and let me just reiterate here because this is interesting. Mike Florio wrote this 29 minutes ago. He says Brock Purdy's new contract leaked Friday. Best case scenario, 265 over 5 years. That's a new money average of $53 million per year. But Mike Florio says it's not a 5-year extension that kicks in come 2026. His remaining contract gets torn up and replaced with a 6-year deal. That's a per year average from signing of $45.057 million.
So this year is rolled into that, and they smoothed it out over the 6 years.
Mm-hmm. So you don't.
So more details coming out.
Yeah, and that's from Mike Florio, who's not a big 49er guy.
So he goes from making $1 million this upcoming season to $45 million, and then 5 more years after that.
So it's all in, these agents present them and teams present it a certain way, but then when you really crunch the numbers, so it's good just to wait till all the numbers are out before we start drawing conclusions. It's a touchdown either way.
Is it a $45 million a year deal now? Is that his new average annual value?
It's a per year average from signing of $45.057 million, but new money average $53 million. Either way, I think the 49ers are very happy with this deal. Don't you think? The team is like, yes.
So Kirk Cousins is making Deshaun Watson's making more than Brock Purdy over the next 6 years. The average annual value.
It's all in
coming.
Yeah.
I mean, the money is the money, right? If you're Brock, and I get why Brock would want to sign it, because you go from this year to 1 million or 1 million and change. He was to, all right, now 45 million over 6 years each year for the next 6.
Yeah. Yeah. So the true average from signing, $45 million per year, new money, $53 million per year.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that in terms of I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, the money is the money. And it sounds like
I think the 49ers got a pretty good deal on a guy that basically was like, let's work. This is a lot of money.
Did he give
I want
the
to play
team
football.
a little break, like give the team a little haircut?
Don't you think he did just by signing as early as he did?
Yeah.
He kind of gave. I don't think he got outmaneuvered, but I think he kind of gave away some of his leverage because he just wanted to get it done.
And I will say this for Brock too. That deal, I'm looking at the fully guaranteed money. He has the most fully guaranteed money. Currently. I mean, Deshaun Watson, obviously, his is out there, but he's been paid a couple of years already. I'm talking about going forward. Deshaun Watson, fully guaranteed, $230. Brock, what did we say, $181 in guarantees over the course of the contract. So this takes him, right after Deshaun Watson, the most guaranteed money by a QB.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is from Mike Florio. I believe he posted this 29 minutes ago.
And he knows what he's talking about. Florio,
I don't know. He calls Purdy a middle of the pack quarterback, so I don't know if he knows what he's talking about.
Did he?
But he does. Yeah, you would like some of the things he writes here.
I gotta look
But he
this
says,
up.
in time, we'll know more about the true value of the deal. The key factors are signing bonus, full guarantee at signing, cash flow over the first 3 years. Structure of the deal also will show whether the 49ers are tied to the contract for 1, 2, or 3 years. Teams rarely commit fully to more than 3 years of any non-rookie contract except for the Browns. So the whole truth will emerge in time. 49ers are happy with this. Brock Purdy seems happy with it. So it might not be as impressive as it was at first blush, but I think the 49ers are pretty happy with this deal. What's the matter?
I'm not saying my man, dude, he getting less per year. Let me look at some of the quarterbacks. Kyler Murray making more than him. Deshaun Watson, average annual value.
How do you know that their numbers that you're reading for them are not a little?
No, this is
slanted.
No, this is the legit. This is the site. This is in black and white. They don't have Brock Purdy on here. If what Florio is saying is true, and his average annual value checks in at what, 45?
45.057. Mister.
Oh, just a shade above Kirk Cousins. Maybe that was his bargaining chip. This is, if that's the case, fellas, if that's if that's the case, this is a great bargain for the San Francisco 49ers. This is a great bargain. I understand this year you got to pay more than what you had intended for the Brock Purdy, but if you stretch it out over the years, that's a cap-friendly deal, I think, for your quarterback, based on what every other quarterback is getting out there.
I think the 49ers have to be thrilled with this.
100%.
And it sounds like Brock is too.
Exactly. Damn, Brock Purdy getting paid. No, that's good, man. It's a win-win because here's the thing, Whitey. He's going to get his money, whether it's over 5 years, 6 years, 3 years, or whatever. Like the money is the money, And if I'm him, you don't have to wait till next year for that money to kick in.
What it tells me is that Brock Purdy's like Magnus Ver Magnuson. Why is he doing it? For the money? No. For the thrill of winning.
To compete.
Yes.
Win championship.
Yes.
Yeah. There's no joke, Whitey. You're looking for
you haven't
the punchline.
No, I'm hoping you haven't found the piece. Did you find the piece that Florio wrote?
No, I haven't looked it up
good.
yet.
Yeah.
All right,
we don't have time for that.
Let me check
we
it
don't
out
have time for that. Seems fair for a middle of the pack quarterback. He's not among the top 5. It's a stretch to put him in the top 10.
He said that?
I don't know.
Wow.
I saw it somewhere. Yeah.
There's some
for the last
Niner
pick of the
hate.
2022 draft, there's no shame in being roughly the 16th best quarterback in the entire NFL. Says Mike Florio,
16?
and I disagree. He doesn't like the 49ers.
I see
he doesn't
that.
like Shanahan.
Shanahan, yeah.
Charles Haley's going to join us, 5-time Super Bowl champ. He's part of the Dwight Clark Legacy Series coming up next week. More with Charles Haley and more on the 49ers, too, next on Sackdown Sports.
The Memorial Day Race to Savings is on. Get the best deals of the season at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? During the Memorial Day Race to Savings, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
The Sacramento River Cats are turning up the fun for the second half of 2025. Fan favorites like Star Wars Night, Harry Potter Night, and 916 Night are back, plus all new hits like Christmas in July, Camp River Cats Night, and Nickelodeon Night. And don't miss your Cats repping the Dorados de Sacramento in a full slate of themed games. Grab your tickets and join the party at Sutter Health Park. Sacramento River Cats baseball tickets are available now at rivercats.com.
San Francisco!
What a lazy from Brock Purdy, and what a catch.
San Francisco 49ers single game tickets are available now.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Fred gets up and runs back the other way. One block and he's in. Gonna throw left for the end zone. It's caught by George Kittle.
Secure your seats at 49ers.com/tickets.
Touchdown!
Get ready for a summer of music, comedy, and thrills with the Sacktown Sports Live events calendar. Kick it off with punk legends The Damned at Ace of Spades May 31st. Then laugh it up with comedian Kathleen Madigan at Hard Rock Live Sacramento June 7th. Country fans, mark your calendars. Whitey Morgan and the 78s roll into town June 19th, followed by jam-packed June 21st. Tainted Love is at Ace of Spades. Lee Bryce and Walker Hayes are at Ironstone Amphitheater, and Penn and Teller are at Thunder Valley. Then it's 3 days of music and wine at the Country Summer Music Festival, June 27th through the 29th at the Sonoma County Fairgrounds. Don't miss the tradition and thrills of the Folsom Pro Rodeo July 3rd through 5th, followed by country superstar Cody Johnson at Golden One Center July 18th. August brings legends. Catch Rick Springfield August 1st and Parker McCollum at the Ironstone Amphitheater June 16th. Grab your tickets now and don't miss a beat. Only with Sacktown Sports.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories. '49ers facing a variety of challenges in their lives after football. And the last couple of years, we played a very small part in this. We've had some guests on. We're about to have another special guest on. I got to know Dwight Clark a little bit. He did some radio stuff. Wonderful guy. So we're really pleased to, like I say, play a very small part in this. But the 5th annual Dwight Clark Legacy Series going to be held for the first time at the Hammer Theater in San Jose. It's Wednesday at 7 p.m. Tickets, all event details are available now at DwightClarkAward.com. We talked with Spice yesterday. Yeah. And we found out there was about 40 tickets left.
That's it, huh? 40.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And the email I'd seen said 100. And then by the time we talked to Spice, it's down to 40. So we're hoping to talk with Charles Haley. And, it's Friday. There's a lot of stuff going on. So hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to Charles Haley. But whether we do or not, if you want to get tickets, DwightClarkAward.com. And it's a great benefit for former players that, fall on hard times. Just for some guys, just playing pro football way back when, they don't know what the game is going to do to them.
Yeah.
And some of these guys, they're really struggling. So that's who this all benefits.
Yeah, you got Charles Haley, Garrison Hurst, Spice Adams, Fred Warner, all scheduled to be there on Wednesday, May 21st. And I'm excited to talk to Charles Haley, efforting him right now. And, because when you look, I didn't know, did the research, 5-time Super Bowl. I know he won some Super Bowls. I didn't know it was 5-time Super Bowl champion. And to do it in San Francisco and in Dallas, especially in that era too, to do it then when they're rivals, I can't wait to talk to him here.
Yeah. So Charles Haley, hopefully we'll be able to talk to him. But again, if you're interested in this, DwightClarkAward.com. If you're interested in tickets, it's a wonderful event. And this year, they're going to have on-stage presentation with Michael Zagaris, Z-Man, the legendary photographer, and Charles Haley's supposed to be part of that, and Spice Adams, and Also Fred Warner.
Fred
So
Warner,
that's
yeah.
going to be a big event next Wednesday. In the meantime, as we hopefully get ready for Charles Haley, here's what we have on the text line on Brock
All right.
Purdy.
Yeah, what we got
From the
here?
209. Brock Purdy is definitely a middle of the pack QB, maybe top 15, definitely not top 5. Players around him make him look good, not the other way around. You know what? Maybe they win with him when he's playing well. They win at a high level, and the rest of it, well, how good is he compared to everybody else? I don't know that it really matters, but he has to play at a high level to live up to this money, no matter what the actual value is. They need him to play well, and they need him to play well starting week 1 this year.
Yeah,
very well.
And you know, obviously, I've been a Brock hater for a while here, but do you think he could do anything to shake this narrative about him? Like, he almost won a Super Bowl, and here I am, and others still saying, you know, is it like, or like you said, it doesn't even matter what people say.
Yeah,
You
well,
know?
whether it does or not, you're right. People are still going to
Right.
talk about it because he just doesn't have that rocket arm. He doesn't have a very strong arm.
Yeah.
And it's easy for anybody that doesn't even watch much football to watch, a couple quarterbacks like that guy doesn't throw it as far.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I understand that.
And when we look at a guy like Josh Allen, we marvel, oh my God, look at the way he flicks that ball and everything.
Mahomes is
that.
like 70 yards.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's you know, in today's NFL, and we had this conversation off air, you've seen a lot of teams, franchises give contracts to quarterbacks far worse than and less accomplished in the NFL than Brock Purdy. And so this deal that he got, he earned and deserves it. Now he has to obviously live up to it going forward. But, you know, to your point, this guy really has done everything that's asked of him from the organization. You could argue he saved this organization from
no question.
Yeah.
No question.
You know, maybe the biggest blunder in terms of draft history, you know, and
that was a disastrous decision.
Disastrous. Like, even when you look back at that draft, Whitey, we know about Trey Lance, but all the other misses that year that they had. And so, you know, you could argue the Niners owe Brock just from that point on, like, and what he's accomplished over the last couple. He was severely underpaid. I think he's set to make $5 million and change this year. Just looked it up, but still, man, this guy has done everything asked of him, and now he's being paid like a franchise quarterback. So he has to go out there and deliver.
I think the whole narrative of Brock being not all that is so baked in to so many people's perception of him. And I'm not saying they're wrong, but I think it's so baked in. He could win 3 straight Super Bowls, and I think still a lot of people would say, yeah, but they didn't win it because of him. And maybe they'd be right, but I think there's always going to be, no matter what he does, and some of it, I agree with what Jay said, there were so many people that were wrong about him that people don't like to admit they were wrong. Ultimately, if they win, it doesn't matter, but I think a lot of people are always going to look at Brock that way. Like,
And, you know, for him, and, you know, he's hasn't listened to all this, you know, criticism, hasn't spoken out about it. For him, just like for my guy Jalen Hurts, the only way to get back is to win. Like, we sit here and we joke around a lot, and you guys make fun of my Eagles and everything like that.
I love the Eagles. You know that.
But, you know, my only comeback is, but we won the Super Bowl. We Super Bowl, and that can't be argued. And so when it comes to Brock Purdy, if he gets it done, overpaid, last pick, you know, but he got his Super Bowl. He was the Super Bowl winning quarterback. And people have pointed out on the text line and YouTube, there are a lot of quarterbacks out there who haven't accomplished that. Great quarterbacks. So winning the Super Bowl is hard, man. It's hard. Look at all the great quarterbacks that we talk about now. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, you know,
Dan
Marino, all these. And so if he, talking about Brock Purdy, can get it done, in my eyes, now clip this, Jay, because if it happens, in my eyes, that shuts everything up. I can't, because even if I try to argue it, you guys, all you got to say is he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's what you want from a quarterback.
Yeah. Big if, but that's a whole idea. By the way, we haven't had a chance to talk to you since the Warriors were knocked out, and I think it's kind of funny. I'm a lot more pro Warrior than you are, but I thought it was funny after the game. A lot of the Warriors saying, "Oh yeah, we could have won it all," and Jay and I went back and forth on that. I get it; that's kind of what you're supposed to say, but I think they're kind of delusional.
Yeah, I think so too, because losing one player, as great as Steph is, like. You had nothing else. Even your second best player, playoff Jimmy, was a scrub.
Yep.
And so are you telling me you're going to battle through Minnesota, then play Denver OKC, then beat the Eastern Conference champ? Like, I just don't see it. And I do think the age thing is real, Whitey.
Oh, yeah.
When you look, what?
Steph's going to be,
35, 37? Yeah, he's going to be 38. And so those games take a toll on you. For your career and even in the playoffs. This Minnesota series probably would have won 7, let's say, if Steph there. Then you probably got to go 7 next round. Like, I just don't think they would have the stamina to keep it up.
So what are they going to do in the offseason? Not that we're so worried about the Warriors, but we're looking at everybody in the West and the teams that the Kings are competing with. Windhorst today on Get Up, he said, if you're asking, can the Warriors get Giannis? The answer is yes, and it's the but that is going to be a big thing that's going to define this off season. He thinks that the only way it would work, the Warriors would have to include Draymond Green or Jimmy Butler in a Giannis deal. And it's interesting because they've publicly committed to the core of Curry, Green, and Butler. But also, Windhorst says, Giannis would have to say, I want to go there. Right. Because he says the Warriors have some pieces, but their offer would not be the best offer.
Exactly.
So unless Giannis says, you got to set me up to go there, then they might be obligated to work it out. Otherwise, the Warriors can't really compete for it.
They can't. It'd be like saying Sacramento can get Giannis. Technically, we can. We got players. We got picks. But it's not the best offer.
Yeah.
Giannis would have to pull a De'Aaron Fox. And here's the thing, and I don't want to turn it too much into a Fox conversation, but when Fox let it be known through back channels that his desired place, he wanted to go to San Antonio, that hindered and took away the leverage the Kings had. And the same thing would be for Giannis.
Right.
You know, it's like, I'm not giving it. We saw it here in Sacramento. Pascal Siakam said, he doesn't want to come here. Well, if you don't want to be here, we're out. We're not giving up all of our assets for a guy that doesn't want to be here. And so, Giannis, you're hearing reports now, he doesn't want to go to Miami and play under Pat Riley in the Heat regime. But OKC, does he have a relationship with Shea?
See, I wouldn't be shocked if he did at some point say, I want to play with Steph.
Right.
Because they got the same agent.
Yeah.
I have no idea, but it wouldn't shock me.
And did you hear the report? Steph had a party at All-Star Weekend, and the only non-Warriors player who attended was Giannis.
Hear about it. I was there.
Were you really?
I was at the party. No.
I was about to. I know you be moving in silence, man. I know how you be moving out there. I wouldn't be shocked. Yeah, so it ain't happening, though. Like, they don't have a player assets, first of all.
Right.
Dude, Milwaukee went Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler. Like,
it's kind of funny because for years the Warriors were Giannis. We're going to get Giannis.
Yeah.
We're going to get Giannis. Now they might have a shot at him, but because they did the Butler deal, they might not be able to.
Yeah, they don't have the assets, and they were impatient, wanted to go for it this year, and it's backfired. The same could be said. Although I do think the Knicks, who we're watching now against Boston, has some assets that could turn into Giannis, but they don't have the picks anymore. They were impatient, trading them away from Mikal Bridges. Can you imagine if Giannis would have became available now and they still had their picks? They would be in the mix for him.
Now you're leaving, right? And
I gotta go. I gotta get to this event. Then I'm going to Palm Springs next week. Phone will be off. Jay, don't text me in the text thread. You and Whitey can handle y'all business separately. I don't want nothing. I ain't answering nothing next week, dude.
All right. Well, have a good time.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Yes, you guys.
Yeah. What? He kind of meant that. He almost meant that this time. Almost. When we come back, A's playing the Giants. Yippee. Next on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Mostly clear skies tonight, turning mostly cloudy overnight. We will see some clearing for your Saturday with a few clouds popping up in the afternoon. Temperatures starting off in the 50s will warm into the upper 70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Memorial Day celebration comes early at Elk Grove Honda. See, test drive, and purchase your brand new Elk Grove Honda at attractive prices right now. Visit Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. We have the right Honda at the right price.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com. This very minute at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range, you'll find fun gaming on all 52 Chop Tracer screens, where golfers and newbies enjoy the fun together. Compete against friends at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range, or play 9 holes on the McKenzie putting course. Enjoy the summer-long free concert schedule and visit the Hangout Eats and Drinks, opening late May, for wood-fired pizzas, burgers, ice cream, and more. Or relax with a beverage. It's happening all summer long at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range, nightly until 2 a.m. Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
I'm Sia, and I support Humane World for Animals, formerly called the Humane Society of the United States. Together, we have created a new version of Peter Gabriel's beautiful song, Salisbury Hill, to celebrate Humane World for Animals and everything they do. Enjoy the song and join us in helping Humane World for Animals end animal cruelty.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture with daily use.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade Event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New Trade Event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See for full details and disclaimers.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture with daily use.
Live and local. It's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/SacktownSports1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Jay, I thought we'd never get rid of that Eagle fan today. Man, here we
Good
go.
riddance.
Yeah. Trying to celebrate the Brock Purdy news. What do you make of this here in the Chateau from Beeman? I just don't understand how Purdy gets as much pushback as he does. Truthfully, what's the difference between him and Herbert? Herbert's big and has a big arm.
Yeah.
He's just that classic, I'm a quarterback.
Pocket guy.
Yeah.
Highly coveted.
Yeah.
Highly recruited.
Herbert can throw better. Bigger arm.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but
When
I
you
think
say
that's
throw better, meaning more zip, more velocity, or just
has
all
a
around.
prettier. Yeah, it's just more. He's a more skilled thrower of the football.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Purdy has a little bit of backyard, as they would say,
Mhm.
you know, a little more pitch and catch than
Mhm.
the professional look. But hey, get it done how you want to.
Right.
It's almost one of those things where, you know, we see it. We talk about Tyrese Halliburton and his shot's a little more funky, or Lonzo Ball's shot was a little more funky, or Sean Marion's shot was just, if it goes in, it goes in. I don't care what you do.
Yeah, yeah. And then from Spencer Lampkins, Brock is the Westbrook of the NFL. People like to hate him, but all he wants to do is ball and help his team win. He does want to help his team win. I don't know about the Westbrook thing, but as you said, Jay, there's always going to be people that don't give Brock his due because they don't want to be proven wrong.
True. Very true. And the other thing too, Whitey, that gets me is, wouldn't you want to, beside, and I get 49er fans, I mean 49er haters, Seahawks, Rams, Raiders,
yeah,
Packers, Cowboys, but beyond those 5 or 6 teams, wouldn't you want to see someone like Brock Purdy succeed? It's just a story that's made ready to go, you know,
Yeah.
and I get it. You don't want to see anybody but your team win a Super Bowl, but it does come down to a point where you start to root for other teams if your squad is not in it.
Yeah.
You might hate against a despised team, but you might root for a team that you don't normally root for. But Brock Purdy, to me, is a story that I think we all can get behind.
Yeah, if he does win a Super Bowl, I would bet money right now that if Brock Purdy wins a Super Bowl, there's going to be a movie made.
Oh, agreed.
Yeah.
100%.
I don't know that I'd go see it.
No, I
but the
wouldn't.
movie will be made.
Yeah, what else could you tell me that I don't really know?
Mhm.
Because you know what's going to do? It's going to start with him throwing having playing catch with his father in the yard, or he's going to be on a tricycle or something. Right. You know what's coming.
Well, you're going to be a farmer like me, Brock.
You know how it goes. So it's
Wasn't his
not
dad
for
a
me.
minor league? I think his dad was a minor league baseball player.
Oh, really?
I think
I
so.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he wasn't a farmer, but I'm just, you know how the movies are.
Yeah, they'll create a narrative. they'll definitely. His father drove a beat down car.
Yeah.
In 1947. Like, come on now.
We're hard working farm people, son.
Especially
and that's
coming
going to
up
be
from that
good
way.
enough for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to be more pop. Yeah.
You've already got the script.
I'm working on it. Yeah. You know who Michael Cera is?
Know the name.
Okay. Because
Why am
I
I
think
blanking
he'd
on
be,
who is that?
I don't know. He was in that movie that they just made about Sacramento that took place in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think
Is he
he'd
the
be
one that was in
See, that's my Brock Purdy right there.
Yes.
Michael Cera.
Yeah.
In my movie. Yeah.
I actually like him.
He was on Arrested Development, among other things. It might have to be a comedy. I don't know. But they're definitely going to make a movie, and it's going to be really corny.
He was super bad.
Yes.
Super bad was it.
Yeah. It's going to be a really corny Brock Purdy movie. If he wins. And even if he wins, Drapes and I were just talking about this. I know you were right there. You probably heard it. Even if Brock Purdy wins a Super Bowl, there's still going to be a lot of people that say, yeah, but they didn't win because of him. You know?
That's hater.
Yeah.
And you were right. You were talking about it. To be completely honest, he's never going to, unless he has a Tom Brady-like career, he's got to win multiple Super Bowls.
Mhm.
He'll never be considered one of the better quarterbacks. You're going to have to win. You're going to have to prove it. You're going to have to show it.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, that's what happens when you are the last pick of the draft.
Mm-hmm. Now, Jay, we got playoff basketball going on here. We also got on TV, we got the something going on? Something up? Yeah. Oh, we have Aaron Gordon news? Yeah. All right. What do we got, Ramsey?
Aaron Gordon has been diagnosed with a left hamstring strain, and his status is in doubt for Game 7 on Sunday at 12:30 p.m. According to Shams.
Yeah, in doubt. So that's something they just have to see. Rest it, see how he's doing on Sunday. That's not good for the Nuggets.
I'm not rooting for the Nuggets. I'm rooting for OKC.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good for Aaron Gordon. And unfortunately, I would rather see Aaron Gordon and the Nuggets at full strength to see a good game. You know, it's one of those things where I like to see a good game. That's on air.
Yeah.
Phone. I would like to see Aaron Gordon at the highest his highest peak. He won a game big time on the what game was that where he
against the Clippers?
Clippers, yeah. Was that game?
He won 2 because he won against the Clippers with a putback, and then he won one of the games in
With
this
the
series with a
three-point
jump
shot.
shot.
Yeah. What game was the putback? Do you remember off the top of your head? Was
4.
it 4? It was 4. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
So
Randy.
I was trying to remember. He won game 4 on the putback, and then like you said, the game winner. And then on top of that, he's been playing ball.
Yeah.
He's been doing his thing.
Yeah.
So shouts out to Aaron Gordon. I hate to hear that type of news, especially when you are in a game 7 against OKC and you're vying for a Western Conference final.
I want to ask you being a baseball guy, it used to be the Bay Bridge series, and now with baseball's rivalry week going on, we got the A's and the Giants. Does it do anything for you? Anything special to you in any way, shape, or form? The A's and the Giants.
Well, yeah, it has some nostalgia. It definitely has a little bit, just based on the history and, of course, the location. Beyond that, no, not anymore, especially with the A's and what they're going through. Of course, I'm not a huge Giant guy. As long as you beat them, I'm all good for it. But you said something to me today, and I hadn't even realized it. It is a weekend of rivalries. Yeah, I hadn't
baseball's
even
trying
paid
this.
attention
We'll
to that.
see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm not tied into that.
Right.
Yeah, it is. It would be better if baseball went back to NL plays NL, AL plays AL, and you tried to do this. The fact that there's interleague doesn't really float my boat anymore.
Yeah. The only thing about the A's and the Giants, to me, it's like, well, it's not what it used to be. But then the more I think about it, and this is on me, I don't have to look at it this way, but it just reminds me again of everything that the A's used to be and what the A's and the Giants, what it used to be, being from the Bay Area. And it just reminds me of how bad it is that it's not that anymore, and how the A's are now, they're here now, but what are they? So it just reminds me of things, and reminds me of what a mess this current situation is. Nothing against West Sacramento or anybody on the A's team, but it just reminds me of what a mess the whole A's thing is.
Whitey, come on. It's 5:40 and we're doing well.
I know.
And now we're talking about the mess of the A's.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just being honest. When they're trying to say,
know.
and I don't even think they're saying it, but people are saying, "Oh, it's the I-80 series." That's not.
Who's saying that?
I've heard of
seen that
people say-
socially.
It's informally. I don't think they're
Okay.
framing it that way, but to me, it's like, no, it's not.
Yeah, the I-80 series is the Warriors and the Kings.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there.
Yeah.
When it comes to the A's and Giants, we know it is. It's a Bay Area series. That's what it's been called for many, many years. Bay Area series. Now it's not. So it's lost its luster. And I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah. Speaking of the Bay Area, nice enough to join us here. 5-time Super Bowl champ, Pro Football Hall of Fame, College Football Hall of Famer, Charles Haley. Charles, thanks for your time. How are you today, sir?
Hey, how y'all guys doing?
We're doing good. Charles Haley, of course, is going to be part of the 5th annual Dwight Clark Legacy Series, going to be held in San Jose on the 21st, next Wednesday. Tickets, all event details available now at dwightclark.com. Charles, you had such an amazing career. When you look back on everything you did, sir, what would you say you are most proud of?
I'm most proud of is having the setback of being traded, but yet and marginalized, but yet going back and winning 3 Super Bowls.
By the way, headlining this year's event, going to be an entertaining discussion with Charles, Anthony Adams, Garrison Hurst, Fred Warner, and Michael Z-Man Zagaris, and this all benefits.
We have a few tables left.
I think we have a few, right, Jay?
Yeah, what's the deal, man? Y'all come on now. Hey, finish up. Hey, all these fans out here, we're going to have a good time. So y'all need to come on by the rest of these tables, okay?
Yes. It all benefits.
Get on them, man.
Yeah.
Hey, show some loyalty, man.
And it benefits the Golden Heart Fund, which supports former 49ers. What does it mean to you, Charles, to be able to do something that supports players who've fallen on some harder times?
Amen. It happens to all of us, and and just knowing that somebody's there to give you a helping hand, an encouraging word, $5 so you can get something to eat, turn the lights back on. Hey, that's just a blessing.
Yeah, the great Charles Haley with us again. Charles is going to be part of the Dwight Clark Legacy Series. Charles, I know that we talk about mental illness in sports a lot more than we used to. And I know you've been open about some of your issues you've had. We talk about it more openly than we used to. Do you think
wait a minute, you said had, so what does that mean? That means I don't have the shit no more?
Well,
is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know.
What they gave me a magic pill and it gone away?
Well, I just know when you played, and I apologize if I offended you. I meant when you played.
No,
I know
you didn't offend me. You didn't offend me, but I'm just saying, man, you know, once you got it, you got it.
Yeah. Do you think we still have a ways to go with that? Do we still need to talk about it more openly than we do now?
Hey, as long as society get men to go through that whole life, you know, men don't cry, especially African American men. You know, you're taught from an early age, you don't show emotion, you don't cry, hey, and you fight for whatever whatever you eat, and so it masters itself, you know, because I just thought I was playing football, you know. I thought it was a violent sport, you know. I didn't realize the emotional part of it.
Charles, kind of following up on that, it's Mental Illness Month, Awareness Month, which is, I believe, is fantastic. We're bringing more awareness to that, and that's part of the Dwight Clark Legacy series. And as Whitey said, you've been open when it comes to that. When you take a look back at your career, I know you don't, more times than not, and hopefully I'm not putting words in your mouth, I'm pretty sure you don't regret too much because you went out there and, as you said, played ball. But do you look back at your career and say, man, I could have maybe did this a little different now that I'm here?
I probably could manage being around people more and not be so aggressive if I'd dealt with the issues that I had. But everything else, you know, I don't know if being bipolar gave me any advantage because you know, when the bullets flying, that's when I was the calmest. And, you know, and as I tell them, is my silence ignites my violence. So I got quiet a lot.
Charles Haley with us, 5-time Super Bowl champ and part of the Dwight Clark Legacy Series, going to be held in San Jose on the 21st. Can I ask you, and maybe this is something that as fans we value more than players, but I'm wondering what it meant for you to come back to the 49ers for the playoffs in 99, you know, and then you play the next year. You've been out of football for 2 years. You come back, help the Niners in the playoffs, then play the next season. What was it like to come back to San Francisco at that point?
Hey, you know what? If it wasn't for Bill Walsh, I probably wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Coach Walsh, you know, he, you know, when he was on the deathbed, he called me a day before, asking me, what can he do for me? I don't know why he loved me, but he did. And I loved him back, and I would have did anything for him. He, you know, he was the only guy that I knew could in 2 sentences, have me running out of his office, you know. hey, I never had a conversation with him over like a paragraph or something, dog. I'm like, hey, he kept it simple, stupid, and that worked a lot well for me.
Was Bill, you know, Charles, not, I mean, of course, we have the opportunity to read on who you are, but not knowing you personally, how you grew up personally. Was Bill one of those father figures, or did you look at him as a coach, a brother? What was the figure that you saw Bill Walsh?
I saw Bill Walsh, an old white man, telling me what to do. Okay, hey, same shit that I grew up with, bro. Hey, you know, hey, telling me what to do. So, hey, but the thing that I loved about him, man, was, you know, he made me think. He showed me new opportunities, things that, you know, I never dreamed I could do. He put it before me, and you know, when I go up there, he said, "Look, it's your job. It's your job to, you know, it's your job." And you know, he told me when I started, he said, "It's your job." I said, "No, sir." I said, "I take what I eat, you know, because if you don't take it, then you know what? Somebody gave it to you, they can take it back." So I told him, "No." He said, "Too late."
Do you still watch much football, Charles?
No. The game, the game is for people under 50. For in the 30s, 40s, and 30s. It's a video game now. The NFL is turning it to just more of just pass. The running game is out of the whole deal. All they want to do is throw the ball. So it's all about scoring.
That's interesting.
That is. Joined by Charles Haley. Charles, last one for me. One of the things I always like to ask guys who've put it on the line and played, not the obligatory, well, who was the person that was the hardest to deal with? But I always ask, who was one of the guys that you respected? Who was one of the guys, if you lined up next to as your teammate and or just like you're talking about Coach Walsh, who was one of the guys that you lined up against that you respected?
It probably was Chuck. I have three personalities: Charlie, Chuck, and Charles. So whenever Chuck came around, I had to respect him, though, because he was the violent one. So so when he walked through the door, I said, "Okay, here we go."
Myself, I can dig that. I like that.
But, hey, man, I don't hear y'all talking about people finish up buying these tables,
Yes.
If the tables ain't sold, I ain't coming.
You hear that?
Hey, I ain't coming. So, hey, they can ruin it for the rest of the people. Ain't but 4 tables left. All these people with all that money, hello, come on with it.
DwightClarkAward.com is where you go to get your tickets. 5th annual Dwight Clark Legacy Series.
You finally said that. Oh, my God. The interview almost over, and you finally said that.
I believe I mentioned it.
Opened up with it.
Yeah, I mentioned it a couple times before, but yeah.
Oh, you did?
Okay. I did. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see you on Wednesday, Charles. Thank you.
Hey, I gave you the answer. If it ain't sold, I ain't coming.
Thank you. We got you.
Bye.
Wow.
Yeah, that's coming in strong right there, Whitey.
I've done many interviews. I'm sure you have too. That's unlike any interview I've ever done.
That's one of its own.
Absolutely.
Unicorn.
Yeah.
A unicorn.
Who did you respect? Chuck, Charles, Chuck, and Charlie. It was Chuck. Time for business. 3 personalities. Huh.
Man, shouts out to Charles Haley.
And
legend, man.
Charles Haley, a wild boy.
Yeah,
shout out to Ramsey. He had to,
deal with it.
Keep them fingers flying during that interview. Good job, Ramsey.
Right? Yeah. I was getting ready to say, Charles, hold on, slow down, Charles. He's like, oh no, you didn't offend me, man. You didn't offend me.
Yeah.
That's just who I am.
Yeah.
I could definitely hear where he was coming from.
I was afraid he was mad at me. It's about time you mentioned that. Thank you for pointing out. No, we got it in. So tickets available at DwightClarkAward.com. And as I mentioned, Jay, we're just happy to be just a very, very, very tiny part of this.
And you've been doing a great job with that, Mr. Gleason. Shouts out to you. And they've passed over the love that you and Draper and I and Ramsey and everybody's been doing. So the team, the foundation, they're highly appreciative of so many things that we've done for the Dwight Clark Legacy.
We don't ask you for much. We appreciate that you listen, but I don't want Charles Haley mad at me. So if it's a possibility, you're thinking maybe I could go. Please, we could use you there.
4 tables are left. Man.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Jay.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah. Have a great weekend. We're back Monday, right?
We are, sir.
Yeah. Drive, guys. And we got. I got a feeling we got Infinity Sports Radio next, right?
That we do
on Sacktown Sports.
Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap.